Good day, everyone, and welcome to the literally Unplayable Podcast episode. It's all about family. The show where we sit down for an hour every 2 weeks and talk about the Fast and the Furious franchise.
I hate you.
I hate me too. I am Suleiman, sitting here with Chris Berger.
Hello.
And today, ladies and gentlemen, after long last, we have a guest.
Do you know you made a mistake in your introduction?
I know.
It was a month.
That's my brother Yusuf Suleiman. Yusuf, do you want to give us a brief introduction about you? And we'll go into why you're here later, but go.
Oh, the name is Yusuf Suleiman.
Boring. Next.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, we've been gone for a while. First things, apologies from my end. I may have... let's just tell me how much of an awesome
essentially, I did all the effort into queuing up things for scheduled releases, both on SoundCloud and on our website, to point out that there's no podcast that particular week, and that there's going to be a video on our YouTube channel with a new Trainwreck episode. Yay! Mm-hmm. And then a certain someone goes to hospital.
Yay!
And leaves his brain at home or the office or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Yay again.
No, we are going with the theme of the Trainwreck episode, okay? And we needed to make this the ultimate Trainwreck to the point where it wasn't even released. That's how bad this train hasn't even left the station.
we want this hobby of ours to eventually become a proper
I
thing.
know.
And you are ruining it.
I apologize for that. What happened is, for the last year and a half, I've been challenging my body to a fight, and the body's been winning. So
Going.
yeah, I had to go to the hospital. So what I'll do is I'll have a double upload for this episode here. I'll have our Trainwreck, which is...
We're still not even sure why you went to the hospital. You just sort of woke up there and the doctor said, yeah, you're sick.
I honestly don't remember the day that whole thing that ended me up there. What happened is I was talking to my manager, and then I went to sit down, and I was out. Apparently, I collapsed, I wasn't breathing properly, and the ambulance had to come pick me up. Apparently, what happened is I changed my diet drastically, and I changed my medication drastically, which dipped my potassium levels to dangerously low. And here's the funny thing, I had a bit of a heart flutter, and I thought I was going to die. I honestly thought, this is it, I am done. All the credits, Moaz has left the building. And that caused a bit of anxiety attack with it. So it's scary. Just like, what is them to look after yourself, because I don't. Like this guy can attest to it. I don't look after myself.
Do you know what that sounds like?
What?
A personal problem.
No. In all
Okay.
seriousness, no.
In all seriousness,
No, just if you undergo major dietary and medication changes at the same time, just I don't know, go see that person that calls himself a doctor that you pay lots of money to.
Yeah. And
They might yell at you, but that's for a good reason.
yeah, it's a good reason. And I've been neglecting my health because of work reasons, and I've been just pushing myself. Don't do that. It's not worth it. Not when you kind of realize that you have a limited amount of time and limited amount of energy to give to the world. Take care of yourself.
Also, there was not really a podcast because I went on holiday, which was amazing. I had 12 days of no internet, no phone signal, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It was possibly some of the greatest time I've had this past 2-3 years. Even it was amazing. No office, no complaints about clients not getting their work done. Nothing. It was just out in the wilderness. No city. Nothing. Completely. I think the word's unplugged or disconnected.
Disconnected.
Yeah, I was disconnected and I enjoyed that. The problem is now I have 0 days of leave left.
I have 0 days of sick leave left too. It's worrying because I go to the hospital a lot. Anyway, did that cover what we've done in the last 2 weeks? Last month, basically?
Pretty much, because it's mostly just been holidays and movies.
Yes,
which
movies.
brings us on to our first topic.
Yes, the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 movie has come out.
Warning, spoiler alert, we're
Yes.
going into full spoiler territory. If you don't like it, well, we don't care.
We're going to full spoiler territory, and the reason why I brought my brother along with is because on Wednesday night, that's when I came from homework late, I was tired, and this guy started talking about the movie, and we spoke for about 3 hours. And I thought, yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about, because
It's the most amazing movie that I think that came out in the universe. Some beg to differ and say the first one is better, but I said if you watch the movie in detail,
Actually,
It's the true essence of the movie.
what I did this morning before we recorded, I actually did some research, big air quotes. I first went onto the Nostalgia Critics channel on YouTube.
The sibling rivalry.
Yes, I watched that video to do some research. I also went onto one or two websites that also explains one or two connections in the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 movie.
Mm-hmm.
So some people did say they enjoyed the first movie more, and then some people are saying they enjoyed the second movie more because they went a bit more back to the old comics.
Yes.
And that's actually a good point of discussion because then going back to the comic connection is essentially what will bring in more fans, first off.
Yes.
Second off, it's bringing also the story to be a bit more fleshed out.
Mm-hmm. And plus, the first one is about that whole. It was the novelty about the first one. We had the we had 80s music. We had this mercenary gang just coming together. It was like the A-Team. And the second one, we went into character development. We went into this large plot. We went into this connected universe where we seen how Earth is just a small part in this massive galaxy of all these different races, sizes.
And we had a lot more 80s music.
Yes, a lot more 80s music. And okay, let's actually go into the story of the plot. You want to do a play-by-play of the plot, like how we follow Logan?
What do you think of the introduction of that movie?
Let's start there.
First of the introduction annoyed me.
No.
Because I still don't like Groot.
You still don't like even Baby Groot.
I don't like Baby Groot.
Yeah, Baby Groot is amazing in that movie.
I'm sorry, Rocket Raccoon is still my favorite character.
No, but
It's still my favorite character.
Okay, let's talk about the introduction, okay? Because this is spoilers. The introduction of this movie is similar to how the first movie gave Peter Quill his flamboyant running into this massive ruins to steal an artifact to the sound of... What was that song they played in the first one?
Oh, I don't remember.
Okay, they played to that music. The second one, we had the Guardians together doing their job, protecting some ancient artifact or battery from an interdimensional being.
Yes, it was
It
was an interdimensional being that wanted to recharge, so he wanted to come suck on some neutron
Yes.
batteries.
But what they didn't do, they never show us the fight. The fight wasn't the focus of the introduction. It was Baby Groot being absolutely useless.
adorable. No, being adorable.
Adorable and useless are not mutually exclusive. You can have both of them at the same time. And that
Yes.
was Baby Groot throughout this entire freaking movie.
No, but that's just the point because we lost the Groot.
But in essence, Baby Groot done the most important job in the movie.
He did do the most important job, but that's only because Rocket Raccoon taught him to.
No, it was because everyone needed to have a part to play. It's like storytelling 101. You can't have an ensemble and one person in the ensemble doing nothing.
Yeah.
So even though, okay, let's not even get there yet. So,
Certain anime directors would disagree with you on that one.
oh gosh.
Because I point you to the figurine on my shelf, Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z fell into another trap. And we love... I hate Dragon Ball Z so much. I hate it so much that I will watch every single one to complain about it. Welcome to the internet. Anyway, so that was where the movie started. What did we call those golden guys again?
I call them the perfect beings.
That's what they believe themselves.
Yeah, apparently they're supposed to play a huge role in the Marvel comics.
Yes,
No, but they do play a huge role because if you watch the end of the movie, they create another perfect being. So that will go into that
We're doing
later.
this in order.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, we'll go into that later. But in this movie, they did play an essential part in the movie. To the extent.
Yes.
And because what they did, they protected the battery, and at the end, Rocket Raccoon went to go steal parts of the battery, which started the main conflict of this film, or the kicking off point of the film.
See,
would say
most
that.
movies just have a singular plot thread going in and out. What this movie does, it actually has two plot threads. You think the whole battery thing is one of the plot threads. It's not. It's actually the subplot.
You think it's the main plot in the starting, and then
Yes, and then ever so suddenly during a big fight and a crash landing and whatnot.
Yeah.
Star
Oh, well,
Wars-
let's just start. That space battle was amazing, though.
The space battle was pretty amazing because of one particular reason, and they pointed it out in a YouTube video as well. The arcade noises.
I love that.
So essentially, the battleships of these species are pilotless. They are probes. They are remotely controlled. So you have this huge fleet command thing where people are sitting in these sort of like
Retro
What
Sega control booths.
Yes,
Cockpits,
yes.
basically.
little cockpits. But there's like every now and then there's some arcade noises going on, and
it
all
had
the
that
traps are
arcade
there.
atmosphere too. The way
Yes.
people were crowding around the last guy to watch him try to take down the ship.
It was like it's up to you, and poof.
And like, you
Okay,
suck, man.
But now that's a good idea. But now, how far in space can these spaceships travel?
If you're talking about a hyper advanced society, you're talking about quantum
Yeah.
entanglement.
we
So-
don't we don't go into the science of the movie because this is
No. We are a scientific based podcast. Simple answer, quantum entanglement.
So they basically can go anywhere in the universe.
Quantum entanglement is essentially you rotate an atom over here, left by 2 degrees,
Yeah.
and another atom in another
Yeah.
pocket dimension across 3 galaxies will turn left by 2 degrees.
But
At the same time.
At the exact same instance.
But the thing is, that also goes to illustrate just how conceited these gold people were, the perfect beings, that they will not even risk themselves in this setting. They will protect.
They're so conceited they couldn't protect their own freaking batteries. Think
Yeah,
about it that way. Why did you call the Guardians Galaxy to protect your own
yeah.
batteries?
You call known mercenaries to protect your most valuable artifact.
I'm trying to find some. There is a society here on Earth that does something similar. I'm trying to remember which country or which age it was, but I know there is someone that did something similar here on Earth. In real life society, there is a society that thinks themselves so perfect they won't go fighting. They'll just pay people to do it.
Oh,
I can't remember who it was now, but there is someone on Earth that does the same thing.
that is. Right, we'll find out that. Anyway, that was. So they stole the batteries, space combat, and then the damage that they took on the ship was that was real combat damage that threw them crash landing onto a.
That was
planet.
actually a pretty intense scene,
Yes.
seeing how that spaceship gets torn apart. Because
Yeah.
when you watch the first movie, at the end of the first movie, the spaceship is all awesome as they fly off,
Yeah.
and you think, yeah, it's amazing. And within the first 10 minutes of the movie, it's
Yeah,
destroyed. And you're like, why?
It was a really nice design of the ship, though. It had this cool. It wasn't even. It was a very original design. It was not something you see in Star Wars or Star Trek or any of the usual stuff.
If you look at how futuristic military aircraft are being designed by most video games and even some movies, they took influence from that. So if you look at do you remember that Avatar movie with the blue bums?
Yes. There's a
They
sequel
had
coming out
aircraft.
soon. There's a sequel coming out soon.
I know.
They're making 3, 4, 5, and 6 at the same time.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
know.
Avatar plan. Yeah.
I'm trying not to think about that.
Yeah.
It's very
Carry
depressing. But those aircraft there had some similar designs to what they used for this one.
Who's aircraft in that movie?
The bad guys, the Marines.
The Marines.
They have a ship who has flat wings with turbines in the in the
Oh,
center of
yeah,
them.
there was a VTOL, yes.
Yes. So it is a similar design being used here or there.
So do you think this is a future aircraft that we can be seen made?
Look,
No.
people want to make this. The only problem is most people who know anything about avionics
Or just aerodynamics in general.
has
Yeah.
already gone onto the internet saying, guys, this type of aircraft won't work.
Yeah. Unless we get to the point where the aerodynamics mean nothing and it's just pure propulsion, then we can do whatever the hell we want.
Yeah, but then you get to basically, what's that stupid series with the cubes and the flat thing, and then they basically do nothing for 5 episodes, and then 1 episode of something happens, and then 5.
Battlestar Galactica.
No, with the cubes, man. You know, the cyborgs inside the cube.
Oh, again, Star Trek.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
But now, do you after that scene, the greatest scene, like the greatest crash scene in, I think,
With the backs flying out the
Yeah.
back and everyone just...
And being just decked into the
Yeah.
trees,
Oh, let's just
which
point
was
out,
flippin' hilarious.
Drax carried this movie. You can say Groot was cute, but Drax carried this
No,
movie.
whatever came out of Drax's mouth was pure brilliance. It was just cheesy, straight to the point, and funny.
Yeah.
I think which is a little bit more true to his character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's a literal being.
So, this comes to my first point now in comparing the two movies, alright? We didn't see the differences between the alien race and, well, whatever Star-Lord is, and so on and so forth. Now we see Drax being decked into trees, and he's still fine.
Yeah.
We see Drax coming up with very simple and straightforward sentences, which is more towards his species.
And hilarious sentences.
Yes.
Because he's
Hilarious
literal.
sentences, because it's very literal, but in the first movie, he was a bit more human.
Yeah.
In the first movie, he was trying to play off a part. He was trying to play that tough guy, big badass with a chip on his shoulder.
But he was still a bit human, and that's kind of what you start to realize when you watch the second movie, because a lot of the characters were human. Even Groot, to a certain extent, was very human.
Yeah, but now everyone has that, what you call it?
That alien nature.
I don't know, there's a word for it. There's a little eccentricity about them. Something that just pushes them a bit, where you think that they're a little insane, but it's not insanity, that's just the culture and the species, those things coming
There
out.
is probably a
Okay,
word.
It's like the way he talks about his wife. It's amazing. It's like, you could play the most melodious tune in the universe and she wouldn't even tap her feet. I loved her. what makes it, you think if a human being told you that, what would you think about them?
I would think, oh, it's cute.
No.
Yes, I would. Okay, but I'm a special snowflake, so
Yeah.
But then don't you think Bradley Cooper was just made to voice Rocket Raccoon?
yes.
Bradley Cooper had that.
Because you can't say anybody else to play that. That Rocket Raccoon just got that nostalgia to him. Where he just brings it to the ground.
Yes, it is actually pretty brilliant. I kind of do wish I had access to the old comics and cartoons back in the day when I was growing up, because I think I would have enjoyed them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but then after that scene, you cut off to one of the, to me, I think that one of the most essential characters of this movie.
Yes.
Yes. So essentially, what happens is
Ego.
they're on the
Yeah.
planet and they see a bunch. Well, first off, they see a bunch of stuff being destroyed out of nothingness, and then this very pretty white and sort of, what's that color? Peach.
No, it's just white. It's pearl.
No, white, but then all the yellow in between. Is that like peach yellow?
It is, yeah, it's like a peach.
Yeah, it was like a peachy,
It's like
soaky
peach,
yellow.
It's like, yeah, soaky. Yeah, it's like
It was a silk, yeah.
But that spaceship looks so, like, when you see the spaceship, it was so smooth.
But
It was a beam.
yes, and then this thing lands, and this is where we get our first example of what I truly think the animators of this movie deserve a medal for. Because okay, first off, Rocket Raccoon looks like a real living raccoon.
Mm-hmm.
Like the amount of rendering servers they had to use for this must have been
Yeah.
astronomical.
So much hair. And combined with the fluid mechanics and the shadowing, it was amazing.
It was absolutely amazing. But then you get this wax moldy type of animation that happens.
Oh, and
This
the door.
spaceship-
Yes.
This spaceship opens up.
No, it melted open.
Well, it melted open, almost like candle wax.
Mm-hmm.
And later, as the movie goes on, as certain things get animated from this planet as well, it's all very wax-like,
Yeah.
which is actually a little bit unique. When was
Yeah.
the last time you saw wax animation?
No, not since the old Tim Burton or the claymation stuff.
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
So first off, that's also what I wanted to say. The animation in this movie was dropped your gorgeous. But then this old dude and this weird lady comes out of the spaceship, and this old dude declares to be Star-Lord's father.
I found you.
I-
Oh no, you can see they were trying to play around the Star Wars line. They
I
were
mean-
trying to play around the Star Wars
I'm
line.
glad they did. I'm glad they did, because honestly, if I see one more Star Wars reference in any movie right now, I'm going to strangle a kitten.
Yeah, but how else do you deliver the line? Because to communicate the message in film, I am your father, it has such connotation now. It has so much history. How can you do it without referencing Star Wars?
Okay.
Easy. You say, I am your dad.
Okay, but after that scene, they cut off into another planet where you meet Yandu.
Where you meet Yondu
Yondu.
who's
Sylvester Stallone. Did you
Okay.
expect to see him there?
Wait.
okay. Just hold on. You're jumping the gun there a little bit.
Yeah.
All right.
He's a
First
Stallone
off, we see Yondu, who has obviously just finished his row with the love bots. Let's put it that way. Around so intense that one of the love bots pushes a button at the side of her head that causes her to die. So clearly he must be
Yandu's
so
the man. Yandu's the
He's
man.
so bad at sex that women kill themselves.
But
Oh god, it's amazing.
I'm like, Yandu, you might want to look into this. Like maybe go see a doctor or something.
you know when you see Yandu for the first time, doesn't he look broken? Or does he?
He's broken
Well,
as hell.
Yeah,
Looks like he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, he's clearly broken. And then we see him interacting with his former teacher, comrade, and technically, I would say boss.
Yeah.
I would say technically the boss. And that's why we realize he's broken, because this boss, who is, ta-da, Sylvester Stallone, and I was like, yes.
Because
yes.
you need more Stallone in your life.
Everyone needs more Stallone in their life. That deep voice belongs in everything.
God. But the thing is, it also...
And how he said that you broke my heart.
Yes, that was
Like, you
deep.
broke my heart.
There was a lot of cheesy lines in this movie, but that genuinely got to me. Because Yondu made some mistakes.
Yeah.
As magnanimous as he tries to put himself up to be, he messed up big
And
time.
now those brings the third threat in the movie, which we'll not talk about. It was the Yondu's.
Yeah, the
Yondu's
subplot.
arc.
Yeah, the little kind of side plot on the side going there. We now know that in this movie we're going to learn who Yondu is.
Yeah.
Which at first I was a little bit about, but then as we learn more and more about it, I was like, okay, this makes sense.
Because the thing is, everyone in this movie has a history. You kind of realize that even Yondu's crew, they have story behind them. That planet that they landed on, that snow planet, there was a story with that bar. There was a story with Sylvester Stallone with the whole Ravagers. This universe is complete, even though we're not seeing everything, they're not explicitly telling us. It's a Dark Souls style thing where the world has existed. Even if you don't see it, you know that there's something there.
But
something that needs to be
if
done.
you read the comics, and this supposedly brings the connection in, Sylvester Stallone's character, I've forgotten the name, and Yondu, I've actually forgotten the actor's name now, which is weird.
Mm-hmm.
But those two, supposedly, back in the 80s, the very first editions of Guardians of the Galaxy to ever be written by Marvel Comic had Yondu and this dude as the Guardians.
I love throwbacks like that. That's amazing.
That's why the movie focused on them.
Yeah.
These dudes were part of the original Guardians.
Yeah. And actually they reference it later on. We'll get into it
Yes.
towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They reference at the end, but essentially the Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2, as we see them now, are actually the second set
Yeah,
of
the
Guardians.
second generation of Guardians.
Not the first.
Yeah.
And that surprised even me, because last night I was there on my phone after the movie. We were sitting in some sort of coffee shop. I was on my phone, not talking to anyone, just researching all of this because I never knew all this.
Because it's a long universe to go around. Anyway, so
and then how fun was it to see that crystal guy or the guy with lots of diamonds
yes.
walking next to
I was a little bit like, what, are we going X-Men now?
yeah.
No, but these are like really cool characters to see. Like the robot who doesn't talk. Or
this tells you how vast the universe is out there in
Yes,
the Marvel.
essentially
Because
you have life that all look humanoid, like humans, but they're different, you know? It's the Star Trek kind of logic.
and this is what makes this universe so fun, that you got the Avengers on Earth, but here you got Guardians of the Galaxy where there's no limits. The limits are this like...
They're not expanding it to as far as I would want.
No, but I'm saying, but for a movie, you can see that there's so much diversity
Yes.
in the galaxy.
No, look, there clearly is the diversity, but I would like to have a species that doesn't have round ears, you know? Where are my pointy-eared elves at, you know? Where
Warhammer
are...
40k, you know that, don't you?
Where are...
Our blob people, or...
Or the goo people, you know, people
Yeah.
that can and that entirely consist of slime, you know, like where's that? Although then again, they probably never existed in the comics.
Oh no, what I think
But
is...
I think we got a Thor movie to look forward to coming up.
Because the Thor
I think
goes
maybe we'll see some different characters there, because when you watch, did you watch Planet of Hulk or read Planet of Hulk?
Pardon?
Planet of Hulk.
World War Hulk.
Well, no, Planet Hulk.
Yes, actually, I did.
So
yes.
we're gonna meet a more diversified species in that movie, because and then we still got. I think we still have to meet the Collector again.
Pardon?
We still have to meet the Collector because he got 2 Infinity Stones.
Yes.
So we still have to meet the Collector again, which he got some weird stuff in his repertoire.
And also we have a psychology where beings that look similar tend to congregate together. So I'm sure there are areas of the galaxy where you see things that will have a diverse feeling to them.
Okay. I follow you in on that now. But now we get to the next part of the movie, which is my first point of critique.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So the Golden People rock up with this long line of super soldiers. The High Priestess walking in front, sort of in front, because there are 2 people on the side rolling out carpet for her as it goes. And then the carpet jams. The carpet roller jams a little bit, they shake it loose, and then they put out a little 3 inches of carpet. That could have been cut from the movie. I'm sorry.
No, but
that was so cringeworthy. I could feel my butt cheeks devouring themselves.
No, but it was actually a brilliant thing to represent that these people are the perfect beings, but they even make mistakes.
Yeah, but it was so awkward.
But
it was so awkward.
But think about it. It's like in the first movie when Peter Quill had the Infinity Stone in his hand, threw it up and catched it and dropped it. They make mistakes. They have to prove that there's a human side to these people.
Yeah.
It just proves that they're not the perfect beings, because.
Okay.
I think that's what it.
I think we kind of proved that they weren't the perfect human beings during the first space battle. You
Yeah.
could see them getting angry and smacking their consoles.
Yeah.
Even in the second space battle, you can clearly see they're making mistakes in terms of the combat.
I have no stock in the scene, so I'm just watching this.
I think the gold people, whatever, the perfect beings. I think the plot.
I'm gonna find the name for these guys. Just
It's the third movie would be I think is where they're gonna come to life.
I suppose.
I think that's where we're gonna see the true nature of them. But then now we come back to after that scene. We come back to see
More
Rocket.
eyes?
I'm out of practice. I apologize.
We see Rocket Raccoon.
No, we first got the ship with an ego ship where they have that little exchange.
You know what? We've got to talk about one of the main things here.
Yeah.
Very about when they collected the bat, when they saved the planet. Who did they pick up?
Oh, Genora, we forgot about that.
We forgot about
Oh,
Genora.
I completely forgot about that. Okay,
Yes.
so the Guardians of the Galaxy essentially were looking for someone who has a bounty on their head. The Golden People said, all right, we'll give you this person in exchange for defending our batteries. That's essentially the plot line.
Yeah.
And it's the blue chick from the first movie, you know, what's
Yeah.
if the green chick's sister.
Yeah.
And they lock her up, she says she's hungry, and there's this whole subplot
Oh,
about...
with the fruit, yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was so cringeworthy.
I like that line.
It was
It was interesting.
so cringeworthy.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't like cringeworthy scenes. Let me just, like you should realize this by now.
Because when you come to the next scene, that's where she becomes a very important role now. Because now you come back to the main planet, and now Peter Quill, his father, is taking Peter Quill, Gamora, and Drax to his home planet. So now they go into a spaceship.
Yeah, so it's
And now
Rocket
we-
Raccoon, Blue Lady, and Groot that's being left to repair the ship. We see Rocket Raccoon holding a pretty impressive
so
tool.
basically, we're only saying Rocket Raccoon is being left to fix the ship.
Yes.
Because two of them are. Groot is not really essentially building a ship, and Blue Lady is just there as a prisoner.
Yeah, so that's also one of our first points of conflict. We can see that there's clearly a divide between the group now. Because there was a huge fight between Star-Lord and Rocket Raccoon. Star-Lord refuses to acknowledge that Rocket Raccoon is a better pilot than him. And Rocket Raccoon was genetically engineered to be a pilot.
Yeah.
It's just a flat fact, and that becomes a huge conflict between them.
I'm gonna disagree because we don't know who the better pilot is. I know you like Rocket
The
Raccoon.
comic books stated that Rocket Raccoon becomes the chief pilot. He is the pilot.
Okay.
Remember,
I don't
Rocket
know.
Raccoon is genetically engineered to do this.
Okay. Oh, the gold people are called the Sovereign. Just
The
saying.
Sovereign.
The Sovereign.
Okay.
So now we know the Sovereign.
Cool. So we see Rocket Raccoon repairing the ship, and he repairs it by using a very interesting tool. It
Yes.
looks like
Spray paint.
No, it's what's it called? Spray on metal.
yeah, it looks like spray on metal, but then the metal forms into where it should be. I want this because
We
next
all
time we're in a
want
car
this.
accident, we just spray our cars with something, and the car's
Yeah.
fine again.
It's like the galactic equivalent of duct tape.
Yeah.
Just holds everything together.
But then after that, they break scene and they go onto the ship, and now we introduced to
Mantis.
Mantis. All right. Now Mantis.
Mantis is a psychic lady. She has
She-
two little.
she-
No, not psychic,
She's not
like
psychic.
empath.
Yeah, she's an empath.
She specifically tells her that. And the difference is, the one feels feelings, and the one feels
Thoughts.
thoughts.
Yeah, but then when she touches someone, she can change their feelings, which is a psychic ability. So
Yeah, but does it
No, they change their emotion. They
it's
can,
a
she
very
can-
fine line.
Yes.
It's a very fine line.
But then we realized that Peter Quill's dad actually has issues with his life because he can't sleep.
Yeah, that's a really interesting thing. Why can't Ego sleep?
Yeah. So
Because we know he wants to change the universe, but is it because he's not realizing his dream, or is it because he actually feels something for the choices he's made?
yes.
Because he has broken. Okay, we'll go into how, but he broke Peter Quill's mom's heart, and a bit more than that later.
But now before this year, what Peter Quill says here, like when I was a kid, I should dream my dad is who?
David Hasselhoff.
Oh,
David
yeah.
Hasselhoff playing.
So there's a subplot where Peter Quill thinks that David Hasselhoff, the actor who played in Knight Rider, which honestly, why wouldn't you choose anyone else?
Yeah.
Because that was a freaking awesome series.
Yeah.
Is his dad, you know?
And-
Maybe
So-
he used to
And I, should
pretend
play,
that
and I should play catch with him. It's a very.
it's
Okay.
messed up and sad, but
Look,
yeah.
look. As we go towards this planet, we see Ego talking. We see Ego being, you know, quote unquote, put to sleep by this lady. There's talk about, you know, this mysterious woman that can read feelings, and there's a little bit more character interaction here with some
Yeah.
humor here and there. But to be honest, it's one of the movie's more quiet moments. But I still like it because it's still character interaction.
Yes.
We see how the characters interact, how they should interact.
That's the point of an ensemble. People interacting with each other. You don't watch the ensemble for the superpowers. You watch for the personalities clashing or
Yes.
meeting. So
And then we cut back to Rocket Raccoon.
Now this is.
Now this is easily one of the best movies in the end, moments in
no,
the movie.
that scene can be turned into an entire movie.
I
and I'd still
think
watch
it's
it.
it's the second best in the movie.
Okay,
Okay, then.
it's not my personal favorite in the movie. I'll get to that.
Yeah.
But this is easily one of the best because it is quintessentially Rocket Raccoon's moment.
Mm-hmm.
We hear some. Which track did they play? We hear something from the 80s being played again, essentially, and we
I'm
hear
gonna get them song list, don't worry.
we hear Rocket Raccoon's voice echoing from the ship as he hums along to the tune,
Mm-hmm.
and we see the bad guys now, obviously being hired by the Sovereign, walking towards the ship, and clearly in a circle formation, they're surrounding it, and there's like dozens of them, dozens upon dozens.
They're coming in the numbers.
So we think, oh dear, Rocket Raccoon's going to be captured. And then we hear this tweet, and these darts, these huge darts. I'm talking about, this stuff is like the...
No, these are syringes. These are syringes. Metal syringes.
They're metal syringes that's easily almost as long as my arm, just being flung out of these boxes, peppering these dudes, and they're just dropping to the ground. Like, we assume dead. We don't know, but we assume dead.
They're knocked out.
And we see Rocket...
It was all non-lethal, if I remember. Most of these attacks are non-lethal.
Yeah, okay. Let's assume they're non-lethal. And we see Rocket Raccoon in the tree giggling to himself. He is humming into a microphone, which is being transmitted back to the ship, and that's echoing from there. That's why people think he's in the ship. But he's in the trees. And he's hopping amongst the trees like a little raccoon would, and it looks quite adorable to a certain extent, because he's also wearing pants. And you're like, wait, what? He starts setting off all kinds of traps.
Yeah, the
hopping onto
gravity
people's
bomb.
heads and
Those
stuff.
gravity bombs are amazing.
But then, the best bit was the gravity bombs, where essentially he has this weird triangular shaped control. And on the two edges, he has two red buttons, each connected to a gravity mine. And the gravity mine flings people up in the air, and they come crashing
It was
down to the-
choreographed, basically.
Yeah, it was
choreographed. This death maze. And to go with the music and with the beats. That's what I love about this movie. That they incorporate music so well.
It was brilliant. But unfortunately, we hear that very distinct whistle, and that arrow stops just before it pierces Rocket Raccoon's skull.
But now we have to go back a notch there, because we first meet, what's the blue lady's name?
Janora.
Janora.
Oh yes, so Janora
Debating
convinces...
with
Yeah.
Groot to do
Maybe
that.
Janora convinces Groot to let her go because...
The only way they're going to be safe.
Yeah, the only reason. So we see Rocket being surrounded by these people, and then like a little argument breaks out.
Now,
between
it
the
was a
bad
point
guys.
of... It was a mutiny, basically. It was a
Yes.
point of extreme conflict where... What's his name again? Where Yondu's second. I can't remember what the guy's name is. But his second in command says, I've been with you through everything, but I cannot stand for this. We need to make
Yeah,
a
so
choice.
essentially a
And that's
mutiny
because
breaks
they-
loose because Yondu doesn't want to take Rocket Raccoon, he just wants to take the batteries.
Mhm.
Which is worth less money than they're worth, and then conflict. Yondu gets shot the back of the head by Blue Lady. I'm sorry, I forgot
Straight
the
through
name.
straight through what?
The
you
fin.
call-
Yeah, straight through his little metal thing on his head, which we've all pretty much figured out is responsible for why his arrow flies about the place.
Yeah.
And Rocket Raccoon gets hit by a taste bullet or whatnot, and Blue Lady is like, hello, boys. And you're like, yeah. That's
And
awesome.
then there's the flute.
And then it's ruined.
And it's where the flute line ends. It's not like...
And it's ruined. Absolutely ruined. And then we go back to the planet where we have
Where they
Star-Lord's
land.
dad.
No, then they go to Ego. And just one point. The color palette on Ego is amazing. The CG of this entire planet is...
And it wasn't
Beautiful.
pointless. It wasn't pointless
Yeah.
CG. It was CG that had the correct level of detail based on the distance towards the camera.
Mhm.
Meaning your eye could naturally travel from focus animation to background animation.
Mhm.
And this is something I would like to quickly draw attention to. Who gets this very wrong?
Most of Disney movies lately.
No, not Disney. You start with an M.
M.
Yeah, the director.
Oh, by Michael Bay.
Yes.
Michael Bay isn't the director. He's a pyrotechnics expert who masquerades as director.
Yeah, but that's just the point. He is one of the people that actually has gotten this very, very wrong. Using an over amount of CG isn't bad in a movie.
Mhm.
It depends on how you pace the animation and the level of CG to help the eye focus.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the problem. Michael Bay doesn't grasp that.
Yeah, and the point of CG is to create what human hands can't.
Yes.
Not to draw all your attention away, not to blow all your budget on some massive set piece that's going to be the focus of your attention.
Yeah.
You can blow budget on something that no one's going to even look at,
And the point I'm
as
still
long
trying
as
to
it
get
serves
at
its
is
purpose.
there are some directors that can grasp this. Like
Mhm.
most of the Disney directors can do that. They understand where to put detail
Where
and
I
where
saw
not.
it happen last time very well was in the latest Jurassic Park. Jurassic World. Yes, they did it not as good as Guardians, but they managed to grab us where sometimes the things in the background need to stay in the background. So you saw that with like the fields rolling off, or you saw how the mountain changes. It was background stuff. No one really notices it, but it was there. They did put a lot of stuff in your face, but they even did the same thing. And I see people start to grasp that now. So
Yes.
going forward,
So
it looks like there's
it's-
some hope for it.
Let's come up with a term for that. Let's say it's animation pacing, because pacing in terms of a literal thing is where you have the right amount of detail being presented to the
How about
reader.
animation spacing?
Animation
Just
spacing.
distance that you have to keep
Yeah.
from
Yes.
you and
Yes, animation spacing. That's a good term. So we'll keep that on.
So they built a beautiful planet,
Yes.
and they never show you everything. They just showed you enough to make you feel that this planet is.
it's a planet.
It's
basically.
a planet. But then now we come to another very good plot in this movie, where you meet Peter, where Ego tells Peter Quill about his mother.
Yeah.
Yes, that
about
was
his
beautiful.
mother.
That was touching.
So we see these sort of now. The next set of animation
Yeah.
wasn't entirely wax.
It
The
was
next
married
set of
to so, it was
animation,
like clay thing.
It's
yeah.
like no, it wasn't clay either.
Yeah.
It was a cross between marble and wax.
Yes. 'cause it's
Whoever
smooth.
Whoever made that texture in that animation engine deserves all the cookies in the
And
world.
plus, it wasn't flawless marble. It had that organic feel to it.
Yes,
It
which
was
is where
textured.
where the waxiness
yeah.
comes in. Someone knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
So essentially, there are these little baubles inside this viewing room of Ego that
the gallery. Yeah.
like they spin around and there's a new image and a semi-moving image and you see
Yeah.
characters interacting and whatnot, and you can see they have this very weird color to
It was the 3D glyph gallery, basically.
kind of like that, yeah, which is pretty impressive. So we hear the sad story of, oh, I loved your mother. Wait, sorry. We see the sad story of this brain
Mhm.
developing consciousness, and then
I was once a brain.
yeah, like
Yeah.
that was my first question. Like, where are you going with this?
yeah.
Because I'm a sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking, when was the scene when they show that his mother knows that he said Ego
He's was a god. Yeah, it was in
Oh.
the gallery.
No, that was at the very, very start of the
We
movie.
forgot that day because we see that he planted something on Earth.
Okay, so
Yes.
essentially, at the very first thing you see is Planet Earth 1980, and you see these two people in a car and this lady singing, and it's clearly Star-Lord's dad,
Mhm.
and we see this dude driving. This dude ends up being Ego, and we see them kissing in a forest, and Ego's like, "Look, I want to show you this." And there's this weird flowery thing that's growing on the ground. It's like, I planted this, and soon I will plant them all throughout the galaxy. And then she's like, "Ah, you silly thing."
But now, that is the biggest plot was that day.
Yeah.
No one picks it up.
Because
I saw that coming a mile.
yeah, we saw it coming a while away.
I saw that coming a mile. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's the plot line.
yeah.
But the question here needs to be asked: how did he age so fast?
He never aged.
He did age.
He chose to age.
Oh, to get to have a choice.
Yeah, because
Yes.
he wanted to appeal to Peter Quill.
Yes,
Yeah.
essentially, look, this being is like supposedly a billion years old, so.
Yeah.
So he's basically.
He can be whatever he wants to be, basically.
So do you think what they fought here was more powerful, essentially, than Thanos?
Can we leave that to after the
Yeah,
movie discussion?
we're gonna go into the full Marvel universe
Okay.
later.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So let's rush through a few points now. So essentially, what happens is there's betrayals, people die. We see conflict between not Gamora.
What's him again?
Oh,
What's Green Lady?
yeah, Gamora.
Yeah, it's a Gamora. Okay, we see conflict.
Janora.
Janora. Okay, yeah, we see conflict between Janora and Peter
Mm-hmm.
as they have
Gamora.
fights.
I'll check it.
Okay, Green Lady and Star Lord have arguments. All right, that's essentially what happens for a bit.
But that's been building up from the starting of the movie. Essentially.
Yes. So there's a proper falling out there that that happens, and they run off.
They call it the unspoken thing. That's the problem because
Yes.
there's no communication between them. It's unspoken.
Yeah, you're sticking in too much, dude.
Yeah.
I'm trying to rush this stuff.
Sorry.
Then we see Peter interacting with his dad, and his dad is like, "Look, cool. So this planet has something called the light, and it's some sort of power." And he teaches Peter how to manipulate this energy, and he forms it into a ball. That's more or less the only thing he can do with it. But then they play catch.
And that's where I'm saying.
And there's the musical cue that kicks off that makes it so cringeworthy. The entire theater burst into laughter. It was so cringy.
But this is where I say they built it. They built this up in the spaceship, when they entered the spaceship, that I imagine my dad being David Hasselhoff, and I've been playing catch with him. And
Yes.
now he's playing catch with him, so they've done one of the two things.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they
But the
did
thing
that.
is, okay, blue girl is called Nebula, green one's called Genoa.
Okay. So, now we're back on the pirate ship. I'm going to call it a pirate ship because, wait, it's the Ravagers, yes?
The Ravager ship.
Okay, cool. So we go back to the Ravager ship. We see most of the crew being ejected into space because that's what you
That's
do
how
with a
pirates
mutiny.
doing a mutiny.
But it's done quite gruesomely. Like you see the person
That
being,
was bad.
being frozen in space, and
Yeah.
like I kind of went like, "Are you sure this is PG-13?"
Like the last time I saw it, you don't watch The Expanse, do you?
I know.
It's another sci-fi show where this guy is having this meeting with everyone. The one guy disagrees with him. He bashes his head in the table and throws him out an airlock. That's what it looked like. PG-13 too. I'm like, really?
I think, yeah,
Throwing out an airlock is not PG-13.
that was really gruesome. And we see Yonda just sitting there in this chair being all miserable, and the guy, his second in command now being the captain.
Taserface.
Yeah. He names himself Taserface, and Rocket Raccoon destroys him.
Yes.
It's basically
The roast of Taserface.
Stop Taserface.
yeah. It's the roast of Taserface. It's the introduction and roast all in one. It's brilliant.
And it's so funny because even Nebula joins into the joke.
Yes.
Even the fucking the gold people, what you call them, the
Yeah. Even the
The-
gold people eventually will laugh at him. But
The Sovereign.
so
yeah. So we see Rocket. I've completely forgotten Rocket's name. I'm
You
sorry for
can't
that
tell.
silence.
Yeah.
We see Rocket and Yondu being locked up. And some people are asking, is like, are we going to squish his little thing? And Taserface is like, no, he's too adorable to crush. Let's get him something from the tailor. And they
Yeah.
give him a little suit and they mentally torture him, drown him in alcohol, which is, again, are you sure this is PG-13?
No, that's
This is
just
a
like-
kid,
That's a proper
a
hazy.
toddler. This is a toddler who's being drowned in booze and kicked around.
Yeah.
Are you sure this is PG-13?
And then we had that little bonding moment between Yondu and Rocket.
Yeah, so-
Which I
No,
really
we had to
enjoyed.
wait. So then they both going, they both sitting in a cell. And now they're both discussing a way out of here. And then Groot walks past.
Yeah, Groot, and they want Groot to get something.
And now this becomes, as I think, one of the most memorable
The
scenes.
greatest fetch quest of all time.
The greatest quest in the movie. It's the smallest character going to look for, I don't know, what do we call
The
this
fin.
Okay, so Yondu.
I call us the Mohawk fin.
Yondu tells him there is a prototype fin in my drawer that'll allow me to control that arrow. Can you get it from me? And Groot goes, yeah, and he runs off.
Yeah. And
He brings, and now again, PG-13 movie. He brings a finger, he brings a
No,
eyeball.
no. The first thing he brings, if I'm not mistaken,
it
was,
was the underwear.
yes, he brings underwear. The next thing he brings, it wasn't the toe yet.
I don't know. He brings, it just comes like the most random things in the world are coming from this place.
You know,
Yeah.
like he just brings a whole bunch of stuff. But
Oh,
then
he goes the guy's eye.
yes, he brings an eye, but then Rocket's like, leave the eye here because when he wakes
Be
up,
hilarious.
he won't
Yeah,
know.
but that is a build on to the first movie.
Where he stole the guy's leg.
Yeah, it's the guy's leg. Why is the guy's leg? It'll look hilarious.
I love that little gimmick stayed. I
Yeah.
love that little gimmick stayed. It was so good. And eventually he brings this toe, and Rocket asks, please tell me there's a place where you collect severed human body parts. And Yandu's like, no,
No.
we will never discuss this again. That's what he said. I was finished.
That
I
was
was finished.
amazing.
Then he eventually brings the whole cabinet. He still brings the wrong cabinet. So eventually his
The second, yeah.
second brings the fin.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
actually eventually brings
And
it.
this
And we see the greatest fight.
No, hold on. You missed something.
Where?
The new quote-unquote second in command spots Groot trying to grab the fin.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the next scene we see is the fin being passed to Yondu by this new supposed second in command that was previously the third in command.
Mm-hmm.
And he says no, he's betraying Taserface, ha ha ha.
Because his friends died.
Because all those guys that were ejected into space turned out to be his friends, and he was like, okay, this was not
Yeah.
the mutiny I wanted. I was like, yeah, that's what a mutiny is called.
No, he
dumbass."
never wanted mutiny. He just wanted Yondu to see sense. That
Yes.
snowballed into that scene from the bar where they said, okay, no, this is full of mutiny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now
So now
you get the most.
Yondu asks, do we still have some of that music? And he's like, yeah, could you hook it up?
But you know what you find more hilarious in the movie? That Rocket Raccoon is more in love with music than Peter Quill in this movie.
Yes.
Yes.
Rocket Raccoon discovered his love for 80s music. I'm like, yes. Let the corruption spread.
Oh, God.
Or like that old Star Wars scene. Yes, let the evil flow through you, except it's let the 80s flow through you.
So now you start the greatest.
And this is my favorite bit in the entire movie.
You know, we saw a little bit of this arrow in the first movie.
Yeah.
That final scene.
At the end, where he just demolishes
He's like,
that
this is the
thing.
most powerful weapon in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh, God, it's amazing.
So what happens is, Yondu unleashes all hell as the two guards guarding the cell get pierced, and then the next dude, and then the next dude, and eventually they start coming in their droves as the
It's
alarm goes off.
raining bodies from above. It's
Bodies start falling. Literal. Okay, if Bodies Hit the Floor was recorded in the 80s, they probably would have played that.
They would have.
And it would have fit perfectly. It would have fit because that's what was happening.
Yeah, and
Oh, okay, you could have also played It's Raining Men because it technically was.
But technically, they could have played that music, that Falling Bodies, because they found it.
oh no, that's later on.
Yeah,
Later. on.
but that's essentially where they were playing the music off in that scene.
Yes.
Yes, they were. That's weird.
So, yeah, so the arrow starts going crazy. They reach for all intents and purposes, I would say it's the
The command center, basically.
No, the security office.
Yeah, it's in the center,
Yeah.
middle of everything.
So they have all the cameras looking at all the people running in all the places, and Yondu uses his know-how of the ship to whistle the arrow throughout the entire ship, and we get a top-down
Yeah.
shot of
It's the top-down
Rocket also starts doing this.
Yeah, it's just blasting through the walls like
Rocket
crazy.
starts shooting through the walls as well, and we have this top-down shot of the arrow making the entire place go red. Not with blood, because they cut the blood out,
Yeah,
but just the arrow's trail, and it was so glorious.
that was
Awesome.
visually perfect. The pacing of that scene.
And then you get I think never really had to be there was Taserface talking to the perfect
We didn't need to have that plot thread where I think her name was Aisha from the South End,
Aisha.
where she
Yes.
had to find out where Peter Quill is going.
So essentially, most of the ship's being blown up, but a third of it can detach and fly off like it's an emergency escape maneuver.
Yeah.
So a third of the ship flies off, while the other 2/3 starts blowing up.
Yeah.
And Taser Flace.
Taser Flaith.
Yeah, going Afrikaans there for a second. Taserface reaches to a thingy, quickly dials the sovereign, and is like, "I will give you the coordinates where Yondu can be found. I only ask one thing: tell him of the man that sealed his demise."
His name.
Taserface.
And she starts laughing.
And she pisses herself.
Okay, and now
That's like the worst
And
name.
now they're making the great escape, and then they tell Rocket Raccoon where he is, and then they decide to jump.
They try to jump in.
Rocket
one-
Raccoon wants to go into one motion, just start warp jumping. And warp jumping in the Marvel Cinematic Universe works as thus. You break a little hexagonal shape into the universe and you jump through it. Only problem is,
You do
Ego-
5 at a time. Yeah.
Ego is
Ego's-
700 away,
And he never knows that.
and most ships can only handle 50.
Mm-hmm.
So you see the Looney Tunes effect being animated in, which is my next point of criticism. They could have cut this out.
No.
I didn't need to see Rocket Raccoon's eyes being inflated,
No,
Looney Tunes style.
But we need to have consequences to pushing the
No,
warp
no,
line.
but you know why they? Because since Disney owns.
No, this is Looney Tunes, not
No,
Disney.
But who owns the Looney Tunes?
Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
You couldn't make that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm so
And
sorry.
do you know who Warner Brothers also owns?
Who?
They do DC movies.
Oh. We'll go into that discussion later.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I forgot something.
Yeah.
Because shortly after the mutiny, another scene happened.
Mhm.
Essentially,
Where Nebula goes off on her own.
where Nebula takes a ship and she makes this deathly speech where most of the pirates are like, dude, you need to take a chill pill, lady.
Yeah, you just like buy a nice hat, take a vacation,
Yeah.
you know.
It's like,
But you remember Nebula and Gamora or Gamora, what? Something else. They came from a tough upbringing.
yeah.
That was tough.
So I mean, for them to do stuff
But
shit like that, it's.
They have their scene now, essentially. Shortly before the whole Yondu and Rocket Raccoon murder everything scene happens, we see Blue Lady's ship arriving on Ego and trying to. So we see Gamora out in the middle of nowhere in the desert trying to get hold of Rocket Raccoon. He's not responding. She's pushing buttons on a little communicator thingy and whatnot. and we hear in the far distance, and this is where the sound guy knew what he was doing, because you can clearly hear it's from far away. It has that soft echoey effect.
And also the visual of that little shape just coming around.
And she starts raining all hell on this lady. And she chases her into a cave, and she crashes the ship into a cave. But then the gun detaches, and she now picks up this
That's full serious Sam right there.
And we can finally also see how the alien differences between her and humans now also stand, because she's clearly physically incredibly strong. She picks up a ship gun, tweaks a little wire together to make it start shooting, and she rains all hell down on this ship that's now crippled in the part of the cave. And then it breaks through the floor, and there's an explosion, and another explosion. She grabs her sister, pulls her up,
and
another explosion, and they fight.
And the visual of Nebula just rebuilding herself. And you see that in the first movie, but just seeing it there, the fire in the background.
But you guys are getting to see that this movie had great character development in terms of how they put Rocket Raccoon and Yondu to do a scene.
Yes.
Now your next scene, you get him.
I actually don't want to spoil that one.
Okay, but
I actually want people to go watch the movie to see Yondu and Rocket Raccoon bond.
and same thing with Genora and Nebula, because that was also really
Yes. I'm not going to go into the dialogue between them,
we're
but
not going to die.
you know what was best about that scene, about them fighting? Not a single piece of music.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Deadly. This is the sound of the fire I remember in the background, and just the impact, the sound of the punches. That, bah, bah. Someone was punching a pork in a freezer when they were recording that. That's how well it sounded.
It was probably Sylvester Stallone.
Yes, it must have been Sylvester Stallone punching a ham in a freezer to get those sound effects. That would be amazing.
But
yeah, that was just such a good scene, and we see them sort of having this character development moment where they don't kill each other, and then they start exploring the caves.
And then they find. I think.
But before they find it,
Before they find it, they first have one more thing.
yeah,
With what again? Star-Lord and
Star-Lord and Ego now start having their second Bond moment, where Star-Lord starts talking about
bonding moment. Bond moment is something completely different. I hate Me Too.
I think but do you actually want to tell them what he tells Star-Lord to piss Star-Lord off so much? I think that's something you have to watch.
Yeah, that was an experience.
No, I'm not spoiling that, because I literally leaned forward in my seat and I started whispering, "Kill him."
Yes.
That was just
That was bang, bang,
But
bang.
we see
But that's what I learned.
the great betrayal happens here essentially, where he starts showing Star-Lord his vision on how to dominate the universe, but he enchants Star-Lord. So Star-Lord thinks it's a good idea. He literally taps him on the head. Literal stars comes into his eyes, and he's enchanted. We see the shape thing being story continue.
Kind of warping, yeah.
Yeah, the little wax melts. They continue.
But you've seen the evilness in this guy coming on.
Yes.
It's not, I don't think that's evil per se. I think it's
It's
just selfishness.
Okay, this is his purpose.
Yes.
Fundamentally, it's
That's
his
what he
purpose.
made his purpose to be.
So we can't say. So is it evil for him to literally do this, or is it just a part of his greater being?
Technically speaking, it can't be evil, because a being like this wouldn't understand the difference between good and evil.
Because they don't.
Because he's a greater being. So but now, are we gonna spoil more in this? So
No, hold on. I'm not going to spoil what the great betrayal is, but there's two halves to it. I'll spoil the first half. We see that he tried to implant his seed on many different species, and we see this one sphere showing different characters that he's making out with. Literally, one of them is Medusa.
Yes.
He made out with Medusa and spawned a child with her. That's gross. I know Medusa is part of the Marvel comic universe.
She is.
She really does exist. But of all people, I mean, ew. Come on.
and then we have this good scene of Mantis and
Drax trying to bond with each other outside.
he just
We see them trying to bond, but then Mantis seeing like, I have to show you something.
so now we get Gamora, and Nebulous discovering it one way. Drax and
Mantis doing-
Drax figures out another way, and Peter Quill figures out another way. So basically, there's three ways that the plot was revealed.
Yes.
fundamentally.
Oh, 3 parts of the plot. That's brilliant. Because we saw. Oh, that is a really good thing. I never think about that.
So you basically had 3 ways that the plot was revealed to all the different characters in this
Yes.
movies.
That is actually quite brilliant now that I think about it. 'Cause I
Yeah.
only saw the movie once.
I watched it twice and I only picked it up now. That's
So basically, you have three ways of the plot being revealed to different characters, all on the same planet.
And that's how you keep your consistency. And
Yeah.
you're not saying the same thing over and over.
Because now it's not one telling the other one telling the other one, because now they all know.
Yeah.
So now it all has to go for a giant. Now it goes into a final.
And then you're not repeating yourself. It goes,
now-
flows
There was,
on
no,
to
there
the
was no
next
repeat
scene.
information, but essentially what was found is there's a cave with thousands upon thousands of
what?
dead bodies.
To be honest, but you don't say okay. They're just
No.
dead.
There are dead bodies there, and they are essentially what the whole thing that
Yeah.
this dude was trying to
Yeah.
do. He was trying to make more of himself. A perfect, well, not a perfect, but a form of a genetic copy that can handle his powers.
And
The
no-
light
They can,
one-
they
no,
can
the light, the
harness
light.
the light.
Yes, the
basically.
light.
And only
And only Star-Lord could do it. So, the betrayal happens. Star-Lord tries to kill Ego. Ego pierces him through through the back with a beam of light. Essentially starts using him as a battery
Yes.
yeah.
to start wielding his powers.
And
we
you
see
start
these
watching,
flowers.
yeah, you see all the planets across the galaxy start erupting with this ego goop, trying to consume everything because
It's
ego,
kind of like grey goo, actually.
yeah, and ego wants to be the universe.
He wants to be the universe, and it was at this point. Now, forgive me for saying this, but it was at this point where I, as a religious person, started having my first real issue with the movie. Because I was like, guys, you're really starting to pick really close to my Bible over here. Really, really, really close. I'm not comfortable with it. I'll keep watching the movie. I will buy the Blu-ray when it comes out.
Yeah.
Guaranteed, you have my money. But like, guys, you're skirting really close around this.
But I'll go a bit more into what the progression of the
Oh,
Marvel universe is later.
I'm
But
saying, in a Marvel universe where fundamentally you're making Earth like Earth to where first Avengers was, where there was really God still exists, whatever. But now you're bringing once you're bringing space in it all into this. Does God really exist in the universe now?
in this universe,
In this universe,
in this universe,
does
yeah,
God still exist? Because
you can argue that to extent, yes,
but now we come to another idea in this movie. Did you watch it? Okay, I think we gotta go yet more to the end of the movie because this discussion should be left at the end of the movie. Because there's a good reason why. Did you watch all 5 after credit scenes?
yes, I watched them all 5.
Did you watch the last one?
Yes.
What's the last one?
Okay.
The watches. No.
No, that's the second last one.
No, the last one is when they go and then you have what's the
that's the
guy?
Watcher. That's the last one.
Who's the main? Who's the
Stan Lee.
When you have Stan Lee sitting with 3 of the Watchers, and who are the Watchers fundamentally? They are the gods of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So
I get what you're getting at.
Yeah.
I get what you're getting at.
now I'm saying in this universe, I don't think there's an ideology of God or anything.
But still, me personally watching it, I was like, guys,
Yeah.
the writers are skirting around this, and it's bothering me a little bit. But
Okay.
I think the second
Where were we
wormhole
again?
opened in New York City.
Yeah.
The whole idea of God went out the window for people in that universe.
Yeah, and that universe went. But then Thor rocks up. It was like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm real. So a lot of people were.
Okay, so yeah, it becomes a little complicated. It becomes a whole
Okay.
like South Park thing. But
Before this goes any further, let's
Yeah.
just reel it back up now.
yeah.
So we see Rocket Raccoon finishing up his warp jump, and and this is where we get our first Stan Lee cameo,
Yes.
where he passes Stan Lee talking to the Watchers, who I've at first thought was the great narrator. Turns out I was wrong.
No, not that.
Because apparently the great narrator might still be dead, because guess what? Deadpool kills them.
And
Whoops.
Deadpool killed anything that breaks the fourth wall. I'm gonna get some water. So keep talking.
Okay, so as he gets off to get more water, it's in the fridge. We see Stanley being passed for the first time. He's talking to people. And my friend next to me freaks out a little bit more than I should have freaked out. And apparently, this is not a cameo, this is canon.
Whoa. I heard that.
Hello. Yes, Stanley's appearance in this movie isn't a cameo, it's canon. Supposedly, Stan Lee's character is revealed for the first time in this movie. The one above all.
I nearly thought this bottle of
But
water
I
that you said
tried to
that.
explain this to Moaz also. But he's fundamentally, Stan Lee is the creator of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes.
So, for him to basically be the all superior in this universe, it makes sense. Because he created it. Because if it was not for Stan Lee in this universe, So I'm a religious guy also, but I'm saying, but in this universe.
Okay, just so you know, I'm glad I recorded a lot of footage to put over the YouTube video because we're skirting on an hour right now.
Because it makes sense now for Stan Lee to be the great, because if it wasn't for him, would we ever have the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Not the way it is now.
Okay, so
Back to plot.
back to plot. Rocket Raccoon and what's his face? rocks
Yondu
up-
in the second.
Yes.
We discuss this later.
Yondu and Rocket rock up at the planet. They have their next character interaction, which almost brought a tear to my eye because that was deep.
That was extremely deep.
That was
For
extremely
all the cheese and the writing, there are a few really good points.
But you know what I realized in Guardians of the Galaxy? That these people love taking spaceships and flying it to people with superpowers.
Yes.
or bad guys with superpowers.
Yes. So everyone tries to figure out what has to be done next, and everyone starts running outside. Ship rocks up, it lands, and it's like, okay, cool, what do we have to do? We need to get to the center of the planet, we need to kill him. So they now start tunneling underneath.
Mm-hmm.
But wait, before us, we've got to say about that other cameo appearance.
Which one?
The one I was playing catch with who?
Oh, David Hasselhoff, yes. David Hasselhoff.
Did you guys see that
had a
coming?
cameo.
Did you guys see that coming?
Yeah,
Why
it was,
did they- and
it was
fundamentally-
David Hasselhoff
Yes.
rocks up in the film for like 2
2
seconds.
seconds.
But
How much was he paid for 2 seconds?
I don't care. That's
But David, it makes sense because he planted the idea in Peter Quill's head that he was David Hasselhoff, and he says that.
oh.
I missed that.
Oh God, you're amazing, Yusuf.
You guys don't think that he planted the idea in Peter Quill's head that he was David Hasselhoff.
Oh God, that's deep.
That's why Peter Quill had these visions when he was younger, of his team and his dad playing catch. That's why I say it was a very when they done it in the beginning, it was very subtle. But now when it actually happens, after the bad news he just gave him, and now telling him this, it's a pretty big plot changer in the movie. I say it was so subtle, it sounds so subtly, but you have to notice this thing, and then you're like, these guys were brilliant.
Okay.
Okay, so we have the fight and the main fight going on because the Sovereign rock up again. Their ships go down, and there's a little comical phone conversation between the new second in command. I've forgotten his name.
I'll get his name.
Okay,
I don't
but,
think I've never heard his name in the 2 movies.
but yeah, essentially this dude has this very comical call down to
Yondu.
Yondu,
Or
and
just
it's like
Yondu's ship to the tunnel down. I love that little mechanic with little beams.
yeah, the laser
But
beams.
remember, this is not a planet. This is basically a nervous system.
Yes, the visual. It was a nervous system.
They were actually tunneling into a nervous system. Because remember, this is basically ego. Ego built himself.
This is building around his brain.
This is pretty much ego built himself around his brain. So basically, it's like saying this is it's a body that he went to.
Okay, the Yondu second in command is called Kraglin.
Second
Kraglin.
command.
That's
second command is much better than Kraglin.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll call him the second.
Yeah, we'll go to the second, but it might become Cracklin because of what's
Yeah,
about to
because of
happen.
plot.
So, anyway, a bomb gets not a bomb gets made. The ship tries to blast into the core of what's its face. Doesn't happen because the golden people rock up in the middle of the planet. A huge fight happens, and they now basically. Now, this is the one scene in the trailer that gets played out essentially. Rocket tries to explain to Groot how to take a bomb into
but
the middle.
if they never had those batteries,
Yes, that's where the thread comes through. They made the bomb out of the batteries that they stole in the start.
Yes.
so now this is where it's another slight small thing that if they never have it, if this guy never steals those batteries, it doesn't
For
ever
all
happen.
his faults, he saved the day.
But if they never stole those batteries, the golden people would never have rocked up, and they would have used the lasers to tunnel into the center anyways.
Ah, so it works both ways.
It works both ways.
That's it.
Okay, people can't see this through the microphone because, well, they can't. But
He's tapping his head.
I'm tapping my head with that
But I'm
meme
saying,
going around.
So it's such a
Oh, no.
but it's such a slight
God,
it's such a slight thing that to do in the build up of this movie. So that everything linked in the end.
So we had closure. That's one thing that this movie did.
No, I'm saying
Yes,
I'm
it's
saying
a closure.
Yeah.
I'm saying it was a brilliant. And I think people don't understand what a brilliant movie this was.
Yes. And I also like that they built onto that scene from the trailer when Rocket is explaining to
Yes.
Groot. They actually added it like 30 seconds on.
And it actually made much more sense.
It made much more sense now.
Yeah, now in context it makes sense, but you know what? This is my next almost favorite bit about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Rocket realizes he needs some tape. He
Yeah.
calls to Star-Lord, I need tape. Star-Lord's like, why would I have tape? You're the tech guy.
And
Rocket's like, well, that's because I have to do everything. Now, what happens is brilliant.
Yes,
The camera is static. It just sits there.
Yeah.
Rocket and Groot are just staring at the bomb, and we hear
Star-Lord.
combat going on outside, and Star-Lord asking his
You don't
friends.
understand how big this combat is outside.
Yeah,
It's again like the opening scene when you had Baby Groot walking through a major scene, fighting, but they're sticking here on Groot and Rocket's interaction, looking for tape in the middle of a massive fight.
So you hear the quest for tape going on, and action, and lasers, and explosions. Eventually, Rocket just sort of like scratches his neck.
And then Rocket just looks 1 second, looks back.
God.
God.
Yeah.
When we know that happens.
So, Groot just buggers off with the bomb, and all hell breaks loose again. And the final combat scene pulls off. There's a great interaction between Blue Lady and Yondu because she sort of helps them get out of this sticky
Yes, and
situation.
there's a nice thing with Mantis trying to figure out what her purpose is.
And
And how-
they blow up all the ships.
And then Rocket gives Yondu 2 things.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Rocket.
you see all this
Oh.
bonding with them.
Before that bond, Ego wakes up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because
Oh, yeah,
Mantis was keeping her
Mantis
asleep.
is keeping
Mantis got knocked on the head. She was knocked the hell out.
Oh,
That's so.
Okay, another thing is how powerful or how strong are aliens' foreheads?
Yeah. Because we've seen Drax get bashed around on trees. We see Gamora get.
That's what I love. That's what I love. We finally see the disconnect between humans and aliens.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are indestructible, some of them are really strong, some of them have great mental capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ego wakes up, and now, for a brief moment, it looks like everything is going wrong, and everyone's trapped, no one's going to be able to
Everything
escape.
was going wrong.
Everything was going wrong. But then Star-Lord taps into his latent powers, and he starts fighting Ego.
And then we go full DBZ. I'm pointing to Goku's statue
Yes.
over there.
Basically, the next thing that happens is Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball
Alright.
3 with. Oh,
I'm not gonna.
Yeah?
I'm not gonna tell you guys about the visuals that
Okay.
happen. You know,
Yeah.
especially with that visual.
Okay,
Yes, so we don't.
When you think about when you watched Doctor Strange and the visuals there, I just think this is 100 times better.
Yes.
Okay.
Doctor
From a personal standpoint, I prefer Doctor Strange's visuals
Nah,
to this one, but
Doctor Strange had a really good style. I still prefer. I prefer the play-by-play in this one here. Like the actions that the one move led into the next one, into the next one. Doctor Strange had a nice style, but this had more better action.
okay, I'll agree with you on that one. But from an eyes perspective, I would say I still enjoy Doctor Strange more
Yeah.
because I love that architectural type of visual.
That
tricks.
warping of lines and the.
Del Mamu and here to Bali.
Yes. Anyway, so a fight scene happens. We're not going to go into too much detail like this because this is essentially it's a Marvel movie.
Yeah, but
It's awesome.
what I did like about it though, we saw that this man was a planet. He controlled everything about this place. So it was all of them fighting Ego, but no one could win because you're fighting the planet.
You're fighting the
And
planet.
that they
And it's
really-
only Star-Lord that could really fight him.
Yes.
And Groot manages to plant his bomb in his little cute little way, runs off, and they all start evacuating the planet. And Star-Lord holds him down. And this is the next great line in the movie. It's like, Peter, you are a god. If you let this happen, you will be immortal like them. And Peter just says, what's so bad
What's
about
wrong
that?
with that?
Best line in the movie. Best line in the movie. I loved it. And so yeah, everyone mostly makes it off of the planet.
Yes.
We see another deep emotional moment with Rocket Raccoon and Green Lady.
You know.
Yeah, Janora. When
Oh,
he
yeah.
tases her,
Oh yes, yes, that was deep.
that was another moment where I'm
Yeah.
like, dude.
Because he does not want to. Because he knows he doesn't want to lose his friends. That day.
You already know he's
And
losing, when one of them is losing 2 friends here.
So
Yeah.
he gives Yondu, before Rocket Raccoon leaves, he gives Yondu a spacesuit and a rocket pack.
But he only has one of each.
But he only has one of each. So, Yondu, at the end, grabs Star-Lord, and they fly off into space as this planet starts collapsing in on itself. which from a visual standpoint was amazing.
Even the whole face on the planet had the Majora's Mask feel to it.
Yes.
I love that.
That's what it reminded me of.
Yes.
Yes, Majora's Mask. It itched me in the back of my head. Like,
Yeah.
where have I seen this before?
Yeah.
It's Majora's Mask. Thank you. You connected that plot thread for me. Thank you. I can sleep easy tonight.
Yeah.
And yeah, we see Yondu flying up into the outer atmosphere. He has the rocket pack on him, but the spacesuit, which is just this blue light that sort of surrounds the
And we
person,
see it a bit early in the movie, so
Yeah,
we know
we see
it's
it a
not
bit early in the
brand new or something.
he sticks it onto Star-Lord and he says, he may have been the person who gave you life, but he wasn't your daddy. That was the first nail in my chest, like, oh no, please don't die. They go up into the outer atmosphere.
Was it an arrow in the heart?
Yes, it was an arrow. They go up into space, and we see Yondu slowly dying. Again, another arrow in my heart, and PG-13, guys, really.
Yeah.
But for me, this was basically, I seen this coming because I don't know if you watched Jimmy Kimmel Live.
No.
So I was watching the Jimmy Kimmel Live. You know, they have interviews before it. So now,
press interviews,
So they basically were speaking about supposedly the Infinity War and how the Guardians are going to meet up, and then he said he's not on set. So basically, it's pretty obvious he's dying in this movie.
That wasn't spoiled for me at least.
I avoid spoilers like the plague. You know that.
Yeah.
You both know that.
So yeah, I had two arrows just stuck into my heart right there, where he's like,
Yeah.
oh, it hurt. It hurt a lot.
And they also saw that flashback where you saw young Peter Quill and Yondu showing him how to shoot.
Yes.
That was beautiful.
So
yeah.
But at some point in the movie, there's 5 seconds and 5 flashbacks. So 1 second each. One of them is Peter Quill and Rocket Raccoon flying through the clouds,
which you don't see in any movie.
which you didn't see in any movie, but it was magical.
Because they are fun.
Then you see Yondu teaching young Peter Quill how to shoot.
Yeah.
Supposedly, if I'm not mistaken, that young Peter Quill might be family of the director. I might be wrong on this.
I don't mind. It's like 2 seconds of screen time, so. No.
But you know what's like very funny in this movie is when Peter Quill tells Yondu, "You said you're gonna eat."
Yeah, I was being
and Yondu's
funny.
lying. Finally, Yondu responds to that lie.
Yes.
I'm not saying what the response was yet. Just watch the response.
Yeah.
But it makes sense.
There are moments in this movie that make you almost die from laughter. It's so good.
I thought it was a cheesy line, but it rings true. They're not friends, they're family. Okay?
Yeah.
It's kind of the thing that, again, you like. It's
and this comes back to when Yondu meets Professor Glistone in the beginning of the movie. The reason why he was so pissed with him.
Yes.
And it ties up in the end of the movie.
Yes.
Where he makes amends for himself.
Yeah.
And then
Makes amends for himself.
You see this epic funeral scene.
Yeah,
And he's
so-
Mary Poppins, he's Mary Poppins.
Okay. Again, guys, watch the movie together, and I'm not spoiling that as well, because the Mary Poppins scene was just gold.
But I'm saying, but then you come to the end of the movie and you see this beautiful funeral scene.
Yes, and then we go.
And apparently it was the worst time to put in a 3D effect, because those ashes being burned out to space comes out of the screen.
And you thought you had stuff in your glasses.
No. Think of the concept. You are being dusted with someone's ashes in the movie theater.
God, that's amazing. I can taste it. I can
Worst
taste it.
moment to put in. Oh, I forgot to mention this.
Yeah.
I completely forgot to mention this. The fin on his head. The
Yes.
prototype fin apparently looks like a mohawk,
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
which ties into the original comics.
Yes, because in the original comics, again,
It was
Yondu
a
had a mohawk.
This
It
is
was a green mohawk.
this is what makes me happy.
Mm-hmm.
More and more, the comic book art style is being brought back.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's look at trying to think of a good example. Let's look at
Doctor Strange's art style.
No, Doctor Strange was still quite true.
DC.
Thing, Arrow dude.
Hawkeye.
Yeah, Hawkeye. Look at Hawkeye in the comic books. Look at Hawkeye in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes.
Nothing.
but there was
Nothing matches.
Yes.
There was a reason why they done this to
Yeah.
Hawkeye. Because Hawkeye.
Hawkeye plays a very different roles in the cinematic universe than he plays in the movie.
That
He
may be
plays
true,
the-
but still, the art style in the original movies.
I
You know,
can-
Iron Man 1.
I can see them introducing the comic book art style of the Hawkeye as they start moving into the cosmos. Let's start actually
Yes.
moving into
No,
that
no,
there.
okay, so
You wanna-
Look,
okay,
we're
okay.
at the end of the movie. We're at the end of the movie.
Let's just round it off. You see what something to say?
So,
now you finish off the movie brilliantly at the brilliant funeral. Now you get 5 after credit scenes.
first after credit scene is the second in command being given the arrow, and he has the thing on his head now, and he needs to practice.
And
Yes.
he pierces the one person you don't want to pierce.
God.
And he pierces Blue Dude.
Yeah.
All right. What was his name?
Drax.
Drax. He pierces Drax, and Drax starts screaming.
We forgot a very important. We meet the scene when Nebula decides to go kill Thanos by himself.
Yes.
Yes. So
That's so
Nebula
cute.
and
Janora.
and Janora have their final scene together, and music starts playing, another 80s track, but it is deep.
Yeah, but this is a concept. Do you think you're gonna meet Nebula in the Infinity War series?
Definitely, we have to.
Definitely, we have to.
We have the
Even if
Guardians
it's just
now.
her death scene, we have to.
Yeah, we have the new Guardians now. With all of them. That's
So
the Guardians.
so that's a very important scene. Then you meet
Yes.
the Arrow.
So, and also, we have the most epic funeral scene happening, and we see Sylvester Stallone coming back there, and we see people, doing the chest
Ravager
beat
salute.
and whatnot.
Yeah.
You see this
So, because the second,
firework display in
Yeah.
the middle of space.
the second after credit scene is
The original Guardians.
Sylvester Stallone and the original Guardians.
I would watch that movie.
The old comic book ones. We
Yes.
see a bunch of people greeting each other, including one faceless red alien
With the finger.
who performs magic. The
Yes.
same magic Doctor Strange
Yes.
performs.
Ah,
That sparked my interest.
I want to watch this movie. I really want to
Okay.
watch that movie.
Now here's another concept.
Like the original one with Yondu in that there. I want to watch it. But anyway.
Here's another concept here, right? Did you watch Captain America: The Winter Soldier?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
No. What's the first one? The first Avenger.
Yeah.
Who was the bad guy? Red Skull. Okay. Red Skull never died.
Yes, he did.
No, he never died.
Yes, he did.
He was shot into space. He was what's Tesseract fundamentally in the cinematic universe?
Yes,
The
it's
void.
teleportation. The Tesseract is a teleportation device.
Yeah, but it couldn't have, because Red Skull is confirmed dead in the TV series.
But remember, let's be talking on Earth's perspectives. Because how they know what's happening out of space?
Hmm?
They don't know what's happening out of space.
Yeah, he was confirmed dead by Shield.
Yeah, by Shield confirmed him dead.
Yeah.
But as I'm saying, there is a possibility that Red Skull is still out somewhere.
And
in
Red
the
Skull is a
galaxy.
major villain in the Marvel universe.
Remember, Red Skull.
Alright.
I think we're gonna see more of Red Skull maybe in Infinity War.
All right.
Okay.
Alright.
Anyway, let's go. Let's start talking about.
But there's a second. Now, third
yeah,
one,
like-
we introduced to Guardians of the Galaxy 3's villain, Adam.
Yes. Okay. So the next ending scene is the High Priestess with her hair slightly jumbled up, but not completely, being like all like.
The council will be angry
And
at your
yeah,
expenditure.
the
and
council
all that.
wants to see you. It's like, yeah, I know, but once they see this, their wrath will be perturbed.
So now they make Adam Warlock.
Yeah. So now they announce Adam Warlock. I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah.
because I've heard of Adam.
Okay, now Adam
He's
Warlock.
terrifying. You should enlighten us.
Adam Warlock was originally was never made in the cosmos. He was made on Earth, and then went out to the cosmos. Alright, but now we realize that Adam Warlock is made by these perfect beings, and the perfect beings only make perfect beings. But now, how perfect are these perfect beings? Because we saw them in 2 fights, and both times they're losing.
Yeah, it sort of begs the question, like,
Yeah.
how far did you go with this?
Yes.
Anyway,
So now we got introduced to the third.
yeah.
And
Then the next ending scene.
He's my favorite by far.
when we get
Teenage Groot.
Peter Quill
Yeah,
with Teenage Groot.
Teenage Root, where we finally hear Vin Diesel's voice without being squeakified.
Yes.
Okay, now this is Moaz. Now we're having this discussion the other day. How long was Guardians from Guardians of the Galaxy 1 to Guardians of the Galaxy 2? What is the time frame in between the 2 movies?
Supposedly a year.
Supposedly a year. So that means it took Groot a year to get that big. So that
Is it
means now we're
wrong?
saying, because okay, according to Marvel, that Infinity War will take place 4 years after Guardians of the Galaxy 2, because everything on Earth happens in Earth time, but in the out there in this vast cosmos, it's a different time frame.
Okay, can I burst your bubble?
Yeah.
You're digging too deep into this.
No. I'm just saying.
You're digging too deep into this.
No, there's a reason why I'm
You'll
saying.
see
it.
why.
No, there's a reason why I'm saying this shit. Because now you building up into Infinity War, alright? So now you're building up where everything happens in Marvel, in this Marvel set themselves, happens in real Earth time. So basically everything that happened from Iron Man 1 to now happened in real time except what happens in Gardians Galaxy. So now they're building into something, now with our news topic discussion, where is there to Marvel now? What's happening with Marvel now?
Well, first we see our first little final ending scene.
Okay, the final ending scene, that's a major discussion point.
Is Stanley saying, "Hey guys, where you going?" Because the Watchers have had enough of Stanley's stories. They have to leave now.
Oh no, they have something better to do. Something much better to do.
And that was the final thing, and that was quite cute. But
But now
that was good with the Galaxy too.
okay, so now we're going.
Because now coming up in Marvel's timeline is
Okay.
Thor Ragnarok,
No.
Black Panther.
No. You're missing on. It's first Spider-Man: Homecoming. It looks amazing. Graphically, it's looking.
Okay.
I think it's the most look forward to Spider-Man movie ever.
Yes.
And again, Iron Man steals the show. We know that.
So we don't care.
Okay.
So there's Spider-Man Homecoming.
You got Thor Ragnarok. All right.
Yes.
Brilliant movie. Did you watch the trailer? Because Thor Ragnarok trailer came out after.
I didn't want to watch the trailer, but I watched it because YouTube made me watch it.
But that even came out in the last month. We don't speak about that. But amazing.
Yes.
Okay.
And what I loved about it is it's no more Thor. You're not doing a Thor on Earth or movie. You're doing Thor in space. So they gave the whole feel of this trailer a Guardians Galaxy, because it's basically Thor traveling traveling this vast universe with Hulk.
It's a buddy cop movie basically.
Yeah. But now I was thinking tomorrow, how did the Hulk get to Ragnarok?
Well, yeah, that's also my major critique.
No,
That's my major critique.
No, I don't know. The answer is in the scene in that movie. In the first Avengers movie, who did the Hulk piss off?
Puny God.
You puny god.
Oh.
And why is this guy sitting next to the Grandmaster?
So Loki would transport the Hulk.
It makes
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
And that's the reason why I brought him to the
because
just this line of thought.
a thought of line that. Don't you think a guy who's in charge of sitting on Asgard's throne get beaten up like this shit wants to get revenge on somebody like this shit?
Because Loki holds grudges.
Quite a few. Alright, yeah, we can see that coming,
Yeah.
but
Okay, then you got Black Panther next year, February, March.
yeah, sometime around that.
Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to Black Panther.
Then you got
Captain Marvel.
No, not Captain Marvel. Then it goes straight into
Infinity War 1.
Infinity War 1.
Let's go into Infinity War 1 because now we've
No,
got
no.
a lot of setup for it.
You are.
But now, what if the Guardians Galaxy be currently just Guardians Galaxy? They never bring an Infinity Stone into the movie.
Yes, thank you.
After long did they do that? Like, okay, because we had movie Infinity Stone. At least we got now Adventure without the Infinity Stone.
Well, we already have all the Infinity Stones.
No, we got the Soul Stone that's going to be Ragnarok. The one was stolen, the Soul Stone. There's 6 stones. We got 5. We got the Tesseract in okay. Then we got the Black Ether. Then we got the Tesseract.
You already mentioned Tesseract.
What else? We got the
Spire,
The Scepter.
The Scepter. We got the Soul Stone. No, not the Soul Stone.
Mind Stone.
The Mind Stone. So
Yeah.
we still got there's a Soul Stone left.
No. There are only 5 stones.
No, there's 6 stones. The Goblin got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the 6th stone here. So the Soul Stone is basically the one that's missing.
Let me check.
There's 6
Yeah,
Infinity.
double check that. No, as far as I know, there's only 5 because Thor says there's 5.
No, there's 6. 5 stones were revealed until that point of time. The Time Stone we forgot. So we got the Tesseract, brilliant stone, alright. After Tesseract was they introduced the the Black Ether. After the Black Ether they introduced the it wasn't
The Vision Stone from the Scepter.
the Vision from the Scepter.
No, sorry, that's a Soul Stone.
Oh God, he's right.
There's 6 stones.
There's 6 stones.
Then there's the Time Stone from the Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah, so now the Soul Stone is the only stone that's
Oh
not
no.
found.
In this universe, there's only 5.
No, there's 6.
In the cinematic universe.
No. See here.
We
1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th one is there and the 6th one is here. So far, the purple stone was.
I see. There's 2 red ones.
There's 2 red ones. No. So what happens is that this is the Time Stone. Okay. This is the Tesseract. This is the Black Ether. Okay.
Yeah. This.
So technically there's 6 stones in the movie, and they mention it. So the Soul Stone is the last of the
There's
stone.
5, and that's the 5. That's the picture from the movie.
Yeah, but we already have the 5th stone because you know where it is.
Where?
The Watcher.
No, the Watcher got 1 stone. No, he got 2 stones. What does he have?
No. The,
Okay.
the dude with the infinite vision. He has the vision stone in his chest. Very subtly. Go rewatch Thor 1 and 2. Very, very subtly.
No,
you can see it in his
No,
chest.
that's the Soul Stone.
That's not the Soul Stone.
Because that's why
The scepter was.
That's why Esther gets destroyed. Because she wants to steal the Soul Stone.
The Soul Stone is the last stone that's not yet not there. And when you watch the trailer, go look at the color of the fire that's burning through the city. Because there's only 1 stone that's missing fundamentally. And there's always 6 stones. So let's see. You got this.
Yeah.
So this is the time stone. The
We'll put the
Tesseract.
picture up on the pod. We'll put a picture up as a link.
The Tesseract. Then you got the Black Ether. Then what's the purple one? I don't know what the purple one is called from the last one. That one destroys galaxies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Then you got the Mind Stone, and then you're going to get the Soul Stone. So basically, and you know where the concept of this comes out from?
Where?
There was in the beginning of time there was a celestial being, and he was destroyed. And these were the 6 singularities that caused the universe to sparkle.
Alright.
So this is where the concept of the stones come in. And the person who controls the 6 stones can basically fundamentally control time and control the whole of
Universe.
The universe.
Yeah.
And this is where we get into another subplot. Are we going to see the real reason why Thanos wants these stones? Is it ultimate power?
No, I
Or-
gave more answers to answer this question. What does? Okay, you watch Moaz was saying what you watch all these old movies. They all have memorable villains, but why? Because they give the villain screen time. So what are Avengers basically fundamentally do?
They take up all the screen time. That's why the last 2 villains,
So,
again
why
Ultron and what's his name again?
why did Ultron make a bad villain? Because they never give him enough screen time.
He
Yes.
had no
But
motivation.
with Loki, we got him in a few movies, so Loki made a good villain. But now what they want to do fundamentally is make Thanos, because they're making 2 movies. In the first one, they want to make Thanos the central figure.
The central, the subject of Infinity War 1 is going to be Thanos.
Because why? So they can develop. This guy is on a quest. Because he said everybody on this quest, but everybody screwed him over fundamentally.
Yeah, but that's not my question.
Mhm.
My question is why does he want this power?
That's why we see the first movie.
And I'm hoping it's the comic book reason
But remember, the comic book reason is because he's in love with who?
with death.
With death.
I'm hoping it's
And,
because he
and
wants to win
okay,
death over.
and that's where we can't, because Deadpool is also in love with death, but Deadpool
Yes.
does not
No,
in this.
but not yet though. Because we see Marvel twisting people's arms, getting those licenses in.
Yeah.
We can see it. In the comic book universe, essentially what happens is Death falls in love with Deadpool because Deadpool is such a great murderer, but Thanos is trying to win Death over. So Thanos curses Deadpool with pure, proper immortality. Deadpool initially only had Wolverine's regeneration
Mm-hmm.
and didn't have the insanity yet. Eventually Deadpool develops the insanity and the voices and the teleportation.
Because right now Deadpool is just really sarcastic. That's
Yes.
the closest he gets to insane.
It's basically Deadpool being Ryan Reynolds.
Yes. And then Thanos is supposed to curse him with proper immortality to prevent him from ever getting to death.
But-
Supposedly he somehow figures that out. Supposedly there is a way where he actually does marry death in the end.
Yeah.
But the reason why the Infinity Gauntlet gets reassembled is so that as a wedding proposal, Thanos wipes all life from the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but now, just something you need to. Where does Thanos get the Infinity Gauntlet from? Because if you watch, remember in the first Thor movie when they try stealing something from the vaults. In that scene, they show the Infinity Gauntlet in the background of the prison.
Supposedly he already has it though, because
So how did he break into Asgard?
in the post-credit scene of
So I'm saying he already has it. So how did this guy get to Asgard and break into their prison and steal the goblet?
Alright.
So I'm
I
saying,
don't know.
I think we're gonna get the Thanos origin story. The Thanos we
No,
need it because we don't have
But
it.
Marvel said they're never going to make an origin story.
They did
Again.
so many.
But they're not going to make origin stories. If they don't, they said origin stories are just a waste of time.
But no one knows Black Panther's origin. I mean, they alluded to the idea in
Civil
Civil War, But we don't see that. I think that's what's going to be Black Panther movie. Because
So far, the only thing we've seen Thanos do in all the movies is sit down and in one movie pick up Infinity Gauntlet.
yeah, we need to have some screen time, or we need to know why do we fear this being. And
Okay, so next thing I want to discuss is
studio,
how much time do we have?
we're on 1 hour, 1.5 hours right now.
1.5 hours. Shit. Okay, I want to discuss something real quick. So, on Imgur, there is a nice little image that has the top 15 most powerful beings in the Marvel Universe.
Comic universe or cinematic universe? Because that was
It says Marvel Universe. Shut up.
I know we want in specifics now.
When you say cinematic universe,
Alright.
then you got
Yeah.
Moaz,
Yeah.
do the universe a favor and just shh. On this thing, we see stuff like Scar, Son of Hulk.
Yeah.
We see Odin. Apparently, Hercules is a real thing.
Yes,
Grandmaster, so on and so forth. We don't actually see Thanos. Thanos is not in the top 15, apparently.
No,
Nope.
he's a world killer. That's it.
Thanos is not in the top 15.
Mm-hmm.
We see Phoenix, as in Jean Grey.
Yeah,
She is 5th.
she wipes realities. She legitimately wipes realities out.
But guys, there's a good thing of the Phoenix storyline.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Right.
They're rebooting the Phoenix storyline.
of course they are.
Yeah.
So
But you know why?
now let's get to the top 4 beings real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we see the being called no, I was wrong. She's 6. Let's go to the 5th most powerful being, Franklin Richards, otherwise known as son of Mr. Fantastic
Yes.
and son of The Invisible Woman.
Yeah.
So these two have a kid, and this kid, once he grows up, at least according to this article,
Integrating universe basically and play.
So, okay, we're saying they're the most powerful, so they're not necessarily a good or bad guy, they can be anybody.
Yeah.
yeah. So he has reality warping powers, so he can change what is real. He can change timelines.
Yeah.
So he basically got the power of the Infinity
I
Stone.
think the Watchers actually go meet him at some point and ask him for advice when he's in his club or something.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Then we get Eternity. He also has universal manipulating powers, but he's then again on the other spectrum. Then we have the true top being of the physical reality, known as
Mortal
the
Blade.
Living Tribunal. There is a multiverse in Marvel. In one of these multiverse universes, Adam, the character alluded to in the end of
Adam
Guardians 2,
Yeah.
is the greatest being. In another one of these realities, Hulk becomes the Red Hulk and becomes the conqueror of the universe. In another one of these realities, Thanos becomes the almighty powerful being and rules everything. In another one of these parallel universes, Deadpool wipes everything out of existence.
Okay,
This being, I don't remember who it was, this being got worried about one of his parallel universes. Because one of them was getting so strong he was going to start invading the other parallel dimensions. Then the Living Tribunal just said, I'm done, and just erased it. Gone. The comic books for that character literally stopped being written.
Because another universe.
Because the Living Tribunal just said no, and it just ended.
so now, are we saying the Living Tribunal in this universe can be Stanley?
No.
No.
Hold on. The Living Tribunal is in all the universes. So there is a hypothetical nth dimensional room. All the Marvel universes and all the parallel incantations is being controlled
It
by.
would be so cool
But
if
that's
that
what I'm
nth
saying-
dimension
but
is
that's
a
what I'm
comic
saying.
book store.
Why am I? That's what I'm saying. It can be Stanley because
No,
Stanley
I'm not done
God,
yet. Could you
okay.
please chill?
Yeah.
For heaven's sake, my phone screen literally turned off me trying to shut you up. The next most powerful character is known as the Beyonder. Look at his picture.
Oh, he looks cute.
He looks human. This is not Stan Lee.
We put the picture of this in the.
Yes, we'll put it in the description. This is the co-creator of Marvel. There's Stan Lee.
Yep.
The one above all. This is the character that is essentially the comic book writer, i.e. Stan Lee. This is why, supposedly, it is said that the Stan Lee appearance, the cameo in Guardians 2, is not Stan Lee's cameo, it is Stan Lee. The character the one above all, showing his first appearance. That's why he talks to the Watchers, because the Watchers watch everything. They catalog everything in the universe. So naturally, who would they speak to? The Creator.
The one above all.
The one above all. They would have some access to him. That's why some of the people freaked out a little bit more than some others did. Stan Lee's appearance is Stan Lee, not a cameo.
You know what would be the ultimate letdown to end this whole thing?
What?
That the Marvel Cinematic Universe is a metaphor. It would piss me off. Like this whole thing is just a metaphor.
Stan Lee wouldn't let that happen.
I know.
He wouldn't let that happen.
But it would just make me so angry.
Just chill your pants.
I know. But
It's
you know
not
it'd be
gonna
cool
happen.
if the nth dimension, where you see all the universes, is a giant comic book store, and you just
No.
yeah.
The comic book store would be the one above all's room. The Living Tribunal's room won't be the comic
Yeah.
book store one.
So,
But I think that nth dimension, everything
so
exists.
that's where we're coming into now, right? So Marvel builds perfect universe, real one. So us was watching from phase 1, they've been built up to Infinity War.
Yes.
But now where to from Infinity War? Because now they're introducing new
Okay,
characters.
look, the comic book storyline spans many more branching storylines.
Yes.
We see the creation of Red and Grey Hulk. We need to see the creation of
She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. We need to see Thor's son.
Then,
There's so many
but,
more.
but,
things
but
that
now,
can
I got a feeling in the next universe, okay, it's a pretty good chance that you're going to lose Captain America and Iron Man in this.
happen. Infinity War.
Captain America supposedly will die in the cinematic universe.
But it's going to be reincarnated, I think, either as a Winter Soldier or as Falcon.
No, hold on a second. We're talking about the cinematic
Yeah.
universe.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Because in the comic book universe, Captain America becomes Hydra.
Mhm.
He becomes the greatest Hydra agent of all
Yeah,
time.
that was a real point of contention. I think they actually
The
doubled back on it.
fanboys lost their
They
shit.
doubled back on it though,
Nope.
didn't they?
Nope.
But don't you think that, I think they're pretty going out of the Hydra now and they're going to the cosmos.
Yes, they are going out of it. That's what I'm saying.
Mm.
Odds are Captain America is going to die or he becomes the next Fury. Because if you look at all the Avengers movies, Fury is white.
Yeah.
Captain America is white.
Yeah.
Captain America might become the next
Yeah.
Fury.
Yeah.
Or die. One of the two.
But we never saw a movie for this Captain
and,
Fury.
and now we're going to see the introduction of Captain Marvel in the,
Yeah.
Yes.
Captain Marvel's clearly the next thing coming up. And after Infinity Wars, I don't know what's going to happen.
because
I think they should end it.
I
They
don't know.
really need to end it.
Not necessarily end it, soft end it.
Yeah.
Meaning, we've ended the Infinity War storyline now.
Now we take
Now-
a break.
No, not just take a break. Not just that. All right. She-Hulk. Make a She-Hulk movie. It has nothing to do with the Infinity War, nothing to do with Infinity Stone, nothing to do with the Avengers. She-Hulk. Off you go.
Why don't you just start a new universe?
But you see, Marvel has been building this universe for a few years.
Yeah. But the thing is, you can't tell me you're not getting a little fatigued.
Nah, but a Marvel movie drops, we all want to go.
Yeah, we've been to, like you said, we've been to every one on release day since Iron Man 1. Okay, so.
Wow. You guys are hardcore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying now we're going into. Infinity War was, I think, that was the plan for the entire first. I don't think they've seen. Oh, maybe some of them did see beyond Infinity War, but that means getting rid of a lot of characters. Tony Stark now played by Robert Downey Jr. is how old?
Yeah,
The
but
oldest superhero.
And how much is he paid per
And
movie?
how much longer can he survive in this universe?
no, Bullock. A lot of characters will probably end up either dying or retiring. Because remember, even Iron Man gets replaced.
Yeah.
And the-
Everyone, that's the point of
Okay,
Avengers.
so who likely to survive this Infinity War? If you
Hulk.
look
Hulk
at,
has-
Hulk is too powerful. Hulk is one of the most powerful. characters.
Hulk will survive because he has to first give birth to a child.
Mhm.
That child
Or
was
his
supposed
wife has to give birth. That would just be awkward.
Well, yeah, but
But
Hulk
like
needs
he
to
loves
see the
Scarlett
child
Johansson.
first.
yeah.
But
Then
in this-
most of Hulk's children first need to die as well because I forgot who it was. Someone killed most of Hulk's children because Hulk killed someone else's kids, and it becomes a huge point of contention.
Yeah.
We need to wait for the X-Men license to finally expire out of Fox's damn hands so we can finally remerge them and create
But-
Civil War 2. the
When's it
true
expiring?
No, it doesn't expire. You see, the rule is that they mustn't produce a movie for 8 years, then it falls back into Marvel's hands. So it'll never expire
No,
And
that's the
That's
you
the
you
clause.
didn't do anything
That's
with
the
it expiring.
expiry.
There is still an actual contractual expiry date, which is
Is that known?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's known, but there are two. Look, there's more than one way to expire a license.
Yeah.
More than one way. Only, not making a movie after a certain number of years is one of them.
The
Yes,
8 years clause.
but there are more than one ways to expire a contract, and I'm really hoping the X-Men one does expire so that we can get that back to Disney.
Yeah.
Because in the Civil War movie was but a mere fraction of what it should have been.
Yeah.
Civil War was supposed to involve every single Marvel character choosing a side and killing the hell out of other characters.
But it's just another question. Do we want Fox to lose the X-Men license now after
Yes.
what happened with Logan?
Yes,
You sure?
to restart the franchise.
But okay, but will Disney be able to make an R-rated?
No, they can't. Disney will not. It's a
they
fundamental.
might.
I'd rather keep it now with Fox, because with Fox, what they done with Deadpool has changed the whole comic book genre
Yeah.
for Fox.
Yes.
Because now, if you tell me they're gonna make another X-Men movie and they're gonna make it PG-13, I say they're crazy, because they just put 2 hit movies out with Deadpool and Logan.
Apologies, I'm very tired this morning. Okay, look. Let's look at this from a business standpoint. All right. Disney is all about they include everyone. Even if you work for Disney and your Twitter is in PG-13, you get fired. All right, that's how far they go. Here's my thing. Fox used to be worse. Fox was more censorship, more protect the children. If Fox allowed a PG-16 to go out the door, I can guarantee you, if Marvel got its license back, they would somehow convince the Disney higher-ups to get a PG-16 out.
In all its years of business, Disney has never put an R-rated movie. I think that's just one of Walt's wishes when he started the company.
So
They might take the risk, they might take the plunge, no telling, but looking at Disney's
But
track record,
They would have to, because clearly the current movie trend is we are either making a love story, an action story, or a comic book
but
story.
we know they were pushing the limit here with Guardians too. Like you said, the spacing of people, the slow death.
Yeah.
It was
So right now, what's okay? So I'm not talking about Disney. I'm talking about movies.
movies in general.
Okay, movies in general. What's being made? We're either stuck with love stories, action stories,
Comic.
or comic book stories. Comic book stories is Pirates of the Caribbean, Transformers, anything Marvel, anything DC. All right. A huge, enormous chunk of movies being made right now is comic book genre based. Beauty and the Beast is kind of love story, kind of comic book.
They are going on that little reboot thing with Jungle Book.
Oh,
Beauty and the
Disney is going
Beast.
with the whole reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Disney's reboots falls more
Live action, they only have live action.
kind of comic bookish, kind of love story.
Kind of cash grabby, that's what I'm saying. They stay
Well, yeah,
true
kinda
to, they stay true to the form of the
Did
book.
you
Look.
guys see who Disney casted as in the Lion King movie?
Oh, is that official?
Yes.
Did you see who they casted?
Who?
Who do you think? It's like the most hectic stoner out there. He acted in Neighbours.
I've never watched Neighbours.
No, what's his name again?
Never watched Neighbours.
Who
Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen is who?
I don't know who they, but they casted him in the live action.
Oh,
Is it?
no.
It is either Timon or Pumbaa. I am fine. I am fine.
I think it'll be.
I am fine.
Okay, just pause for a second, all right? I rented the Lion King movies so much from the video store
Then they gave it to you.
that the tape broke.
Yeah.
Okay?
They gave it to me.
I am a hardcore Lion King fan to this day. If they ruin it, that's it.
You
I
cannot
am.
say Timon and Pumbaa are not stoners.
Yes, you can.
So they.
You can say that they are not stoners. You can genuinely say that because when you watch the first Lion King movie, nothing about them is stoner behavior.
Until you found out what stoner behavior was.
I
Okay.
was with the stoners at high school, you moron. I know what the stoners are like. They were not like Timon and Pumbaa.
Wait, but it'll be brilliant to have we have Seth Rogen and what's the other guy's name again?
Seth Rogen might be the monkey. not Timon and Pumbaa.
No. Who's the other guy that wanted the oldest actor in Pineapple Express?
Seth Rogen and another one. We'll figure it out.
The thing is, Timon and Pumbaa weren't stoner characters. They weren't.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
They were hippie characters, man. Yeah.
But
They-
hippies
they were-
fundamentally are the same as...
No,
No.
they weren't even hippie enough. I'm trying to think. Timon and Pumbaa's relationship wasn't built on the look. A stoner fundamentally does
Shaggy
nothing.
from Scooby-Doo, basically.
Yes,
Yeah.
but a
Scooby-Doo,
stoner does nothing. Fundamentally, a stoner's purpose is to do nothing, not go on an adventure.
Okay.
That's
Anyway,
the key difference.
Okay, let me just segue now. See, he does it too. It's not just me.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to what again, Marvel. So we talked about studio, we talked about the franchise. We talked about the franchise, we talked about the studio. Let's just go to the other side of the spectrum for a brief second, because we're running into major time now. How is DC going to respond to this now?
Well, how they always respond. They're gonna make another movie where they're gonna rush the story
Oh, shit.
and completely ruin everything.
Okay, just let's not say anything about it. Just
Oh no, no.
I'll put the screenshot up. Okay, anyway.
Okay. DC fundamentally have the biggest
Do you
flaw.
like the word fundamentally?
No. They got the biggest flaw in movie making history. Okay, look at Marvel Universe, what they do properly. They went pen, paper, made a truer timeline. They gave release dates. Okay. DC came to the picture.
To the party.
To the party, okay, they came to the party, they put a Man of Steel movie with no intention of making this into a greater universe. So Man of Steel was a good movie. It was
No.
okay. Man of Steel brought the dark side to Superman, which no other Superman movie done it before.
But they did it so terribly.
Okay, I wouldn't say no.
idea what we're gonna say.
I'll say it's a good movie compared to Batman vs Superman.
Anything is a good
Okay.
movie compared to
It's
Batman.
a glass of water. That glass of water is a better movie than Batman vs Superman.
Okay, we will say Man of Steel was a great movie compared to Batman vs Superman, right? Because now they've seen Marvel are making tons of money, and now they say, okay, let's do the same thing.
They're playing catch up.
So they're planning to play catch up, but that is a stupid thing. Why do you play catch up when you can just start your own universe?
Yes, thank you. That is the point.
Because then we have
DC
something-
doesn't want to do that. DC doesn't want to
So
put the
now
time in
the-
because they're worried everyone's going to forget about this party and they want to rush everything.
So now, this year we're already getting our first Injustice League movie. Makes sense, but where's the character development?
There isn't any.
Yeah.
So now we're jumping straight to it, no origin story, no nothing.
Yeah.
This
This
is
is
a movie.
Marvel, for all the credit we're giving them, they had a few bad movies in the starting, okay? Original Hulk, poor. Okay, some of the original Captain America, never liked it that much. The old Thor movies.
But
mm,
they all but they did. Even though some of those movies were flops, they are introducing the
and they
characters
served their purpose.
and they are building it up.
Okay,
And DC
you
doesn't
don't
want
get
to do
$1
this.
billion to make 2 movies if you're not doing it right somewhere along the line.
That's true. Here's what else DC does well. All right, DC still releases animated Batman movies, and
Yes,
these things,
and good animated Batman.
these
No, the Lego-
movies
the Lego-
make their cost several times over the first night. Why doesn't? Here's what I'm thinking. Don't make a live action.
Yeah.
Don't.
Go to the original roots of the
No,
genre.
if they wanted to make a live action movies, put it on a piece of paper and tell us, okay, because right now they're sitting in we know Justice League come out this year. We know next year Wonder Woman is coming out. We know we're getting an Aquaman movie, but they don't know when. We know we're getting a Flash movie. We know we're getting a Cyborg movie. We know we're getting a Justice League 2 movie. But there's no order to these movies.
Yes.
So you're just jumping and pushing things here, there,
It's
there,
a
there.
mix match.
So now, I'm saying, go back to the drawing board, draw it up properly, give proper plans of action.
Give us a timeline
Write your
and take
movies-
your time.
Write your movies the way you'd like
What
the
does
comic book.
Marvel do
Yeah.
so brilliantly now is because they got so many so many characters that it's no more becoming one-man movies. Look at, for example, from came to Winter Soldier, we had multiple characters. Civil War, we're having Spider-Man now. Spider-Man just came in the universe, but you already have Iron Man.
Because we don't need to tell Spider-Man
We don't
story
tell.
again.
We don't tell.
Because everyone knows that Uncle Ben dies.
Yes.
Everyone knows. If I have to see one more Ben being
It's-
killed, one more.
That's the thing that what again that main complaint I have of what again Suicide Squad. You don't have to give me an introduction to the characters every 5 seconds. Yeah, I might not know who Deadshot is, but you don't have to tell me who he is once, not 5 times in a row.
So now we're getting to a point where Marvel can put out a movie and they can put 7 or 8 people in the movie, and we know it's gonna work because we had stories behind him. Here you want to give us this year a Justice League movie where we've been introduced to Batman somehow, we've been introduced to Superman properly. Wonder Woman we just pitched up there from nowhere. Now we're gonna have a movie with Aquaman and Flash and Cyborg in it where we don't know where it even pitched up from.
So there is no proper
Okay.
introduction, and that's a problem.
And this is another thing I was talking about. Is the DC universe related to their TV series universe? It can be because
Because you love the TV series.
no.
Just-
I love the Flash TV series. So it's one of those TV series I just love.
It might be the same way Marvel's doing it.
Yeah, but here they got. But this is where.
no, but here's the thing.
This is where I get confused. Is because we have brilliant TV series, but they got Earth 1, Earth 2, Earth 3, Earth 4, Earth 5, and 6. Right? So fundamentally, you're saying in the DC universe they have infinite Earths.
Okay, look, how about this? Right now, the way Marvel does it is the cinematic universe influences the TV series, but the TV series do not influence the cinematic
No,
universe.
they do.
They do to an extent.
They have.
To a very soft extent.
Yeah.
Wait,
Not
I never yet
immediate.
seen the cinematic universe never yet mentioned Inhumans.
Yes.
But Inhumans, you see the trailer came out I think 2 days ago for the Inhumans TV series.
Didn't even see it.
Okay, Inhumans. So now,
Yeah.
no.
And the thing is, Nick Fury has a minor role to play in the Agents of Shield TV show, which
But
influences
yeah,
Civil
but Nick
War
Fury is no
slightly.
more important
But
character.
look.
Yeah,
Look, here's what she's getting at, alright? There's minor influences, but very, very minute.
but they exist in the same universe.
They exist in the same way. Look, Hydra is dead. The creature that is Hydra, the multi-headed snake, was found in the TV series and blown up with a nuke.
Mm-hmm.
It is dead. Hydra no longer
Exists.
can exist.
Which I appreciate so much.
But the movie still might use, like you said, Red Skull, who is Hydra.
Mm-hmm.
So if DC wants some advice, do the same thing. The cinematic universe influences the TV series, but only minor influences
But you
are
see,
carried across.
where
But they got so many.
but now you
universes.
see they already got the Flash
I guess you forgot.
in the TV series. So and they already recasted him as a different person in the cinematic universe.
So it's gonna be a mismatch.
So I'm saying DC just need to get. Don't worry about the origin story, because the origin not worry about origin, but don't worry about origin story too much because. But give us order. And
Yeah, give us some
You
order.
want a sequence.
And you know what?
Because
You know what I want?
Mhm.
Do you remember Mask of the Phantasm?
Yes, I love that movie.
Batman Mask of the Phantasm. Okay, so do you remember how it was animated?
Mm-hmm. That old school style.
No. They used 3D.
Yeah.
Not political. What's the cell shading animation?
Yeah.
If DC wants to play its cards right, do what you're doing with the Batman movies, but make them AAA. Use cell shading 3D animations. Make it a cartoon, quote unquote, a cartoon 2D animation. But put all of your eggs in that basket rather. Make a AAA 2D Batman movie.
Don't think there's that much stock in animation yet. Not for a serious action dark
We
movie.
have a raccoon on a movie screen that looks like an actual
Yes,
living
that's-
raccoon.
That
If
works.
they could do that, then DC can do 2D.
That works. But I think for a lot of people, animation, like our standard full-on animation.
Oh, you're
is
talking
in-
about perspectives.
Yes, perspective. I don't think there's that much stock in animation just yet.
Oh, I see what you mean. I see
Because
what you mean.
why isn't anime being seen as legitimate art form in major Western markets? Okay, why don't we see people try to take that risk with the AAA DC movie? Because we know it works. We know that the animated DC movies have.
Okay,
Superb writing.
what is the best DC movie that came out in the last in ever?
Are we talking?
I would say The Killing Joke, even though I haven't even seen it.
Yes.
I've seen the
I'll say
fan
I'll
influence.
say
in Killing-
Watchmen.
Watch.
Oh.
God, you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hands down, yes.
Yes.
Watchmen was gruesome,
We can,
but fantastic from
I
a
cannot
writing
take
standpoint.
that away.
Well, I say, why can't they put out movies like when they put out Watchmen?
Because that was a massive risk. That was the
But
biggest
isn't that
risk.
all what the universe, cinematic universe, is supposed to be? Then Marvel took a risk in the ran with it. Why can't DC? Why is DC trying to copy Marvel? Why can't it take a cinematic risk?
Because you're not talking to the fans or the creators, you're talking to investors. They speak very different languages.
But the investors should. Guardians of the Galaxy was the biggest risk that Marvel Studios took, but it worked.
Because they had good writing and they had a lot of stock. They had a lot of stock with the
Yeah, but
consumers.
the Marvel Cinematic Universe is younger than the DC Cinematic Universe.
That's true.
DC has been pulling out Batman movies since the 80s.
Okay,
Oh,
we
they had a
don't-
few flops.
we don't call it
George
canon.
Clooney's Batman was the biggest flop in Batman history, but they still had.
I think you're onto something here.
Yeah.
You are onto something here. Guardians of the Galaxy 1, looking at the current financial situation of both companies, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 was indeed a financial risk.
Yeah, and that's the success of that risk influenced the creation of Suicide Squad.
Which was
No,
a
no.
bad influence.
No,
Yes.
no. Suicide Squad was supposed to be much more darker than the movie actually came out as.
Yeah.
Because Suicide Squad was reshot. It was
it was-
reshot because of the slop that
The Batman vs
Superman was. But I think that if they kept, Suicide Squad was a bunch of bad guys.
No,
So
Suicide
why-
Squad got the scale wrong though. Everything about it was wrong.
They introduced every character like 4 or 5 times. I think you just show them in prison, show them once, give us backstory, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Don't give us 4 or 5 introductions to different characters. And then they had no order to the chaos they were in already.
They also got Joker wrong.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they got Joker wrong.
Oh, no,
One of the biggest fundamental characters in the entire
I'd
series.
argue that I'd say they never present this version of Joker right.
That
I'd
that too, but remember, Joker doesn't love.
yeah.
He does
That's what I'm
not
saying.
have affection.
No,
and why
Jo- Joker should have been the villain in Suicide Squad. There should
Yes.
have been it should have been Harley Quinn coming to terms with the fact that Joker doesn't love her.
Yes.
That would have been it would have been that story taken from the perspective
then-
of what again
But
the
now,
boomerang.
but now this is going to be, if you do something like this, it's going to be very risky and it would have
Yeah,
worked.
it would have worked.
It would have been a brilliant movie. I would have gone to watch it day one.
But now,
Okay, guys, just to let you know, we're leaning on 2 hours now. Are we gonna
Okay.
carry on this rabbit hole?
Okay, I have a suggestion for you. All right. So in here we're gonna edit a little doot noise
Yeah.
as people just go take their bathroom breaks or whatnot,
Yeah.
and we cut it off. We hard cut it off at 3 hours.
Hard cut it off at 3 hours. At 3 hours.
The corruption of podcast goes for 3 hours, and they have over 200 episodes on the
Yeah,
internet
and I can see the value on having guests right now because
because it brings something new to
They
the
bring
table. That's
something
why I
very-
want guests.
Yeah.
Anyways,
anyway, so
can we start cutting off this whole thing about the Marvel and the DC?
yeah, because we talk about this thing, but we
Because this podcast is technically supposed to be about science.
yeah. No, we've gone long past that. Okay, let's start wrapping it up about that now. So let's just say
So, okay,
last words.
final
Of,
what
Yeah,
do,
final thought.
what do you
Final
want to see
thought.
coming forward from this?
okay, final thought. What do you want to see coming up from it? I want to see a lot of superheroes dying in the next few movies. Because
What I want is, I don't know what I want to see.
okay,
I don't.
I want to see DC getting their act together.
yeah, because we don't want bad movies. That's the
Because
thing.
who likes a bad superhero movie?
No.
Because it's so much hype. Batman Superman has so much hype to it. And then going to the movies, the only good thing of that movie was that one scene when Batman beat the ass out of Superman.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that's the only memorable thing. I think.
Okay.
Now we need to see stuff like Watchmen being pulled out by DC again.
I don't buy into the DC versus Marvel thing.
Yeah.
I don't buy into that.
Yeah.
I don't buy into the thing of you have to choose one. No, I choose
Yeah.
both.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So that's final thought. Chris, final thoughts.
Dude,
Comic books.
final thought. I really want to see what they go with the Stan Lee character though. I really want to see the one above all character being introduced.
Okay.
I want to see this thing of that all the movies are connected, but there's a higher subplot just being introduced out of nowhere, and Thanos just being literally, and excuse my word, literally being bitch slapped,
Okay.
and a new villain just being like, "What up?"
Okay.
And where do we move on from? And there's another thought to do. Where do you move on from that?
Okay. My final thought is I'm really curious to see what someone might do with the Deadpool character, either in the current Marvel cinematic or the Fox universe, and see if there's some miracle of bringing them together. Because Deadpool is a really interesting and meta character, and I like if they bring the meta into the universe.
You know those little, in the credits, the little doodles being drawn on people's faces? I genuinely thought it was going to be Deadpool.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought it was going to be Deadpool.
But I want to see them bring more. I want to see the meta that Deadpool brings to the universe into it.
Okay, so,
That's final
so,
thoughts.
I'm out after this little nice section.
Can I just make one little comment to you?
Yeah.
In the comic books, Thanos is one of the weakest villains.
Yeah.
Weakest. There are mutants, literal mutants born from Magneto's seed that can put Thanos in his place.
I know that.
So what I'm
What
gonna
makes him
Okay.
What makes him more powerful is he got the
Okay. Just cutting the recording now. I'm gonna stop the recording.
Wait, I
I'm
just
gonna
want to say.
save it, and then I'm gonna start a new recording,
I
just in
wanna
case
say-
we lose something.
Okay.
Because this,
I just want to say bye because I'm not going to be in the next section.
you're not gonna be next section.
I don't know anything in the next section.
No, we're going to have you comment.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're
Because
gonna
you
have you
have
comment.
you have interesting thoughts. You give yourself too little credit. Okay. I've never said that to you. I'm not gonna say it again.
So this is an intermission. I am not entirely sure what's supposed to happen here. I'll just cut it short, and if at some point in the future we have content to put in the intermission, that will fill the space. Yeah, makes sense. Anyway, back to the show.
Part 2 of our super long episode. Yusuf, sit up. You're not an animal.
I'm lying down, guys.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
to the Literally Unplayable Podcast. Our guest is semi-passed out, the lazy prick. I have full view of his groin, which is amazing.
It's amazing.
Can I just leave you two alone, please?
I'm editing that out, don't worry.
No, we are not.
It's an amazing line.
Okay, cool. So, let's get into it.
Okay, so
We
we're
just
going to
had-
make this section very short because people need to leave and we need to eat food because we're all kind of hungry.
Yeah.
So I finished Horizon Zero Dawn and you finished...
Nier Automata. And we both, you said that Horizon is the perfect way to tell a sci-fi, or a very good way to tell a sci-fi story. And I also say that Nier is a really good way to tell a sci-fi story. I'm just going to up my volume a bit. There we go. So, who wants to go first?
Can I go first?
Go.
Okay. Essentially, there is this plot line in Horizon Zero Dawn. So I'm going to tell you this plot line on the side character's perspective. All right?
We're going to say spoilers. Continuing the spoiler thread. Go.
Yeah, continue to spoil it. I'm going to keep it very short. You rock up to work one day and you see the company you're working for starting to make war robots. All right? They are a multi-conglomerate corporation. All right? They make so much money in a minute. They can buy Microsoft every single day once over. That's how big this company is. They start making robots. And you're like, cool, I quit. I got my PhD in AI when I was 16. I quit. She buggers off. There's a fault in the code. Because the code uses perfect quantum encryption. The robots go rogue. They have what's known as a biomass fuel recovery thing, which lets them turn biomass into fuel, essentially. They go rogue, they
They're
start
crazy
devouring the
good,
planet. That's essentially what they're doing, they're devouring the planet. The CEO calls this character back in and is like, yo, I screwed up, these things are rogue. And she said, well done, we can't fix this, I have a better plan. Plan Zero Dawn. That's where the game's name actually comes from.
That answers questions. Go on.
Zero Dawn is a project. They create an AI called Gaia. Gaia has several sub-AIs. Each AI has a task. Apollo is the sum of all human knowledge.
Is that what all those crucibles are?
No.
Okay.
The Crucibles is actually one of the sub-AIs. One of the sub-AIs is responsible for making the machines.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Gaia will actually say, Earth needs something, and she will make a machine.
Oh.
So Gaia gets told, all right, here's what we know of the machines thus far. And there's an estimate. In about 330 years, Gaia will crack the encryption of the machines, and she will shut them down.
So Gaia and the machines are two separate systems.
No.
Yeah?
No. You stop jumping the gun. More.
Okay.
I swear I will beat you with a stick.
Okay.
These war machines that are devouring the Earth are shut down 330 years after Gaia's creation.
Okay.
So humanity's dead. The Earth atmosphere becomes so toxic you need a spacesuit to go outside. because everything just gets destroyed. The entire ecosphere no longer exists. Life can no longer be supported. These machines go into hibernation because they're just waiting for life to start again so they can eat it again. That's their directive. Gaia builds these towers all across the globe. You see one of them in the game, this black sphere thing,
I know.
and it just shuts down the machines. Yeah, so you set up this team of alpha, betas, and deltas. All right, I'm growing bigger based on the size or whatnot. They do all kinds of research, and they are promised, if you work on this project and not tell the world that they are going to die, you will get this underground city. We will survive for maybe 100 years there, and we will survive in peace. The machines won't be able to find it. All right? Bunch of people say no, they don't want part of it, and say, all right, cool, we're going to euthanize you. And those people said, we're cool with it.
That's from the first scene. I remember that.
No. That was part of the Gamma project.
Okay.
You find the prime base where an army general is like, we're dead. We are dead. Zero Dawn is not a super weapon. We've told the civilians it's a super weapon. We are dead. Zero Dawn is a project, not a super weapon. We're all dead. We're going to die, guaranteed. And some people in the audio logs are saying, okay, cool, I don't want part of this project. It sounds too complicated. It's not going to work. And they're like, okay, fine, we'll kill you, but we're not going to kill you immediately. We're going to give you some time to figure it out. And then you hear some people on the logs being all figured out, like, this sounds like a brilliant idea. You see people from all kinds of specialities. Arts, history, music, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, computer science, this, law, even law, people from law being brought into this project. And they build this super AI. They have, I think they have like 1.4 years, something like that. They have to build this thing. But like a week before it has to launch, the machines break the final frontier. And they're like told, all right, look, in 8 hours, they'll be here. They run off. And the alphas, unfortunately, get locked in their laboratory. They never get to Elysium, the final city. And you, the leader, this red-haired chick, starts arguing with the original CEO that's still part of this fucking laboratory because he has to be there, and you hate him at this point. And something goes wrong. To just add icing on the cake, the final hatch seals off with a 10mm gap, which means your electrical signal gets out, the machines are coming. You go out, you reseal it to 1.4mm frame of error. They can't see the facility anymore. You're dead. You die. The CEO of that original big company that screwed everything up even further. Because he knows the Earth is going to be rebuilt with humanity being reconstituted from artificial wombs. Will learn of their mistakes, and he panics.
That explains. Oh.
And he kills Apollo, the sub-AI. He purges him. So when the children get artificially born, they never go to school. They just leave.
And they figure it out.
The door seals. The tribes begin. But Gaia is still alive. She might not have access to Apollo and all the sum of human knowledge anymore.
Yeah.
But she's still looking after the planet. But she has another sub-protocol called Hades. That if her reconstitution never worked, she would just repurge the world using the Hades protocol and just try again, repurge. A virus attacks. The old machines that she shut down send something. And she starts recording a message.
That's the old machines come from. Yeah.
The machines in Horizon Zero Dawn are Gaias.
Yes.
All of them. The corruptors
Are
the old machines with the broken AI.
because I was wondering about the aesthetic choice.
Yes.
It was so random at first.
Gaia, who knows life, who is life, because she was named after the goddess of life. Her AI is surrounded around life. Therefore, the machine she would make would be machine-like.
Yeah.
But
Or
the
be
mach-
more animal-like.
Yes.
Organic.
But the bad machines, and that's literally just what I call them because they're just bad machines, they send some sort of thing.
They are built for war.
Yes, into Gaia. She starts recording a message to Elizabeth, the original creator of Gaia. Elizabeth, about 3 nanoseconds ago, a virus struck one of my subsystems. I have since decided to self-destruct and eliminate myself to prevent it from spreading.
Oh no.
So, before your character is even born, Gaia dies. The mountain shudders. You eventually learn it the NPCs in one of the religions, they see the explosion of the mountain and take it as a bad omen, which is Gaia overloading her reactor.
Which is a bad omen.
Yes. Hades is corrupted, which is where all the bad machines come from. It's Hades trying to gain control again, trying to wipe out humanity again, which is what you stop.
And that's why the machines are becoming more and more beast-like as it
Yes.
goes on.
That's Hades' corruption and Gaia that can no longer monitor them. The only reason why the machines become bad is because Gaia can't look after them anymore. You get this message, your character, and the message continues as, I have... Now, she removed herself from the gene pool program, the main character Elizabeth.
Yeah.
But Gaia goes against it and says, I have taken your genetic sample and I'm going to reconstitute you. They
Because
make a
you
baby.
did it for the thing, yeah.
Yes.
And then
So-
she just appeared.
Your character is Elizabeth, her genetic clone.
No, 99% there was a...
Yes. And
Yeah.
she starts accessing certain places with her genetic code and she restores most of the things going on. And she gets the message. And the message says, before you can restart Gaia, because you can essentially get the backup files of Gaia, before you can do this, you need to stop Hades. And the final battle is you piercing the master override switch into Hades and shutting them all down. You also kill the mad cultist that wants to wipe out the world, which is pretty satisfying. But that's where the story ends. You never get to see Gaia reconstituted, but you get to see the hole that's left where Gaia detonated. This is how you tell a sci-fi story, in my opinion. You tell it from the perspective of the characters that were left after the cataclysm. So, this game takes place more or less 1,000 years after the world ended. All of those humans, they can track all the lineage down to artificial wombs.
Can you explain why there's such a diversity of people?
Yes, because they were randomly selected genes.
So that's why there's no racial lines or anything there, because everyone was from artificial.
Yes.
That's good design.
Everything in the game makes sense. Even the weird random metal flowers that you see spread across the
Yeah,
world.
that was Guy trying to restart.
No, well, that's Gaia's subsystem mourning.
Oh,
Gaia
that's the poem.
loved her mother. Mother being Elizabeth, and Elizabeth dies because the final thing you see in the game before credits roll is the same flower pattern
Yeah,
surrounding Elizabeth's final resting place.
and it's a poem, so every time you find it, it's that morning song.
Yes, Gaia is still, like she admits in one audio log to one of her sub-creators after Elizabeth's death, I dedicate 10,000 cycles of my processing power every day to processing Elizabeth's death. Even the AI that was designed so perfectly to mimic human behavior can't grasp the fact that someone is dead.
Actually, being a Gemini.
So is Gaia fundamentally, is the operating system?
No, Yusuf.
Yeah, I don't know.
Windows is the operating system. Gaia is the artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
So it runs the...
It manages this entire complex of subsystems that was to reconstitute life on Earth. Seeds buried deep in the earth. Information, genetic information, being etched onto stone and using super high temperatures artificially fossilized to make sure it doesn't deteriorate because physical media deteriorates. Fossils don't.
So does this game start after Gaia's death?
Yeah.
The game starts off with you as a baby, which is roughly 8 months after Gaia died. Because
That's how long it took. For
Because they
Elizabeth.
found you in a cave behind this giant metal door, which they believe is the Great All-Mother.
And that's why they see you as an outcast, because
Yes.
you were the
Because
first thing
your
that happened.
baby is motherless.
Oh no, because the baby appeared after after the mountain shuddered.
They don't link that. Your
don't?
tribe doesn't make that link.
Because someone else saw the mountain.
Yes.
Oh.
The mountain exploded more near where the Karja was, the Mad
Yeah.
Sun King. That's why the Mad Sun King went mad, because he saw the mountain explode.
Oh, that's deep, man.
Yes.
And how long was the gameplay on this? Like this game?
Time's gone off.
40 to 50 hours?
I have this game, Yusuf. I told you, would you like to play it?
It's about 40 to 50 hours to finish it, and it is so worth finishing. Because every subplot connects to the final battle. Every character you helps fight for you in the final chapter, which is just amazing. It is a brilliant way to tell a story.
Yeah.
The story of the aftermath of people piecing together the information. And one of your supporting characters is actually quite pissed off because Apollo no longer exists. He hunts information. And he
think I know the
gathers...
guy. Yeah. The
Oh.
chubby one.
No. The voice.
Oh yeah, I know him.
The voice that speaks to you.
Mhm.
The unknown voice. He hunts for information.
Yeah.
And he himself is also quite upset that Apollo no longer exists. But here's what I'm thinking. You can't purge something. Not in computer hardware, you can't.
No.
That doesn't make sense.
There's a remnant.
And Gaia wouldn't let that happen, I think. Because according to the story, there's 1,000 Apollos scattered across the earth. This guy says he purged them all. I don't think so. I think, now, Guerrilla Games said they didn't plan DLC, but they didn't plan it to also have this huge success. So Guerrilla Games are like, okay, cool, making story DLC now.
Oh.
So I'm all for it. So I'm hoping that the story DLC is Gaia being brought back to life. Or, well, rebooted, essentially. You know, just...
I'd like the DLC to be Gaia dying. The other side of it. Where the machine, where you play as the machines attacking Gaia. I would like to play that.
But that would be a completely different game genre.
Yeah.
No. The story DLC will continue Aloy's story.
Okay. I will see how that
It'll continue Aloy's story. I'm hoping it's Gaia being brought back, and then Gaia just saying, "Oh, by the way, I found Apollo." Like having that as the final sentence and credits roll, and being like, "Yes." Because now humanity is restarting from the ground up. Yes, they can harness technology from the machines, but it's basically very basic.
Spears and bows.
You know, spears and bows, and
They're cool spears and bows, but
What if someone puts a virus into Gaia?
the new one.
no, but that's why Gaia left you the message. I can't reboot until Hades is destroyed.
Oh, because Hades was the virus.
Yes. So you stop Hades, and then begins your journey
And then
to
you
bring
cold
Gaia
boot
back.
Gaia.
Well, you're not going to code Gaia back.
Cold boot.
Oh, cold boot, yes. Well, literally cold boot, because
'Cause it's
guess,
on top of the
guess where
mountain.
Gaia was? Yeah, on top of the mountain.
I know.
Your character is like... okay, also
I figured that would happen. That's why I'm saying it's a cold boot.
the animation is also beautiful in this game. Oh my word, it's so amazing. Even on the PS4 Pro, it looks amazing.
Okay, so 15 minutes. You want to keep going on?
So, Nier Automata.
Nier Automata. Let's also tell the story from another perspective. So, we know the story of Nier Automata. There's androids walking the earth trying to make it habitable for humanity. Because the aliens attacked, they unleashed an army of machines onto it and they retreated to the moon. But the thing is about Nier Automata, everything that you are told in this game is a lie. Everything that these androids' entire existence is a fabrication just to hide the fact that humanity was wiped out a century before the aliens even arrived. And all that was sent to the moon is a server that has a few racks dedicated to human DNA in order to reproduce in artificial wombs, and a little procedure generator just to generate messages to give the androids, to give them the sense that they are helping save the world for humanity. And for a while you believe that. So you find out that there's one fabrication, there's another fabrication, and then you find out that that's not what's happening. Because after the machines kill them, after the aliens kill themselves, the machine, that human AI on the moon took over the machines and they set it to self-destruct after a certain amount of time. That the androids would be killing themselves, the machines will kill themselves, the world will just kill itself.
That's terrible.
And for no reason, just to hide the fact that they failed to save humanity. That the humans and the androids failed to save humanity. The entire game was to stop a long suicide of the Earth.
Okay, so that's what you as the character do.
Yeah. No, what you as a character do is you try to stop the machines. Then you find that there's machines that don't want to kill people. So you try to come to terms with that. And then there's a giant virus attack that self-destruct on the bunker to destroy the androids. It drives the androids insane and they start killing each other.
Yes.
But because you've messed up somewhere along the line, there's a small group of androids that never update. So they are safe. But every other android is trying to kill themselves. Here's the problem with the Automata. The story is so bloody convoluted. I still can't even make sense of half of it. But essentially what happened is, two people uploaded their consciousness into the machine, and they said humanity must be destroyed. At the end of the game, Okay, let's just go straight to the end of the game. You know the starting of it. The ending is 2B, your character, goes to do the final assault on the machines. The androids self-destruct and 2B is affected with a virus. And she's trying to get as far away from everyone, so when she self-destructs, no one's going to get hurt. And she runs into another side character named A2. And she asks A2 to kill her. At the same time, 9S, your sidekick, tries to run to save 2B, and he watches 2B being killed by A2. And that drives him insane because now the virus starts affecting him.
Ugh.
But he doesn't want to, because what he does, he loses his arm and he pulls 2B's arm and he puts it on. To remember, and then the virus starts affecting him. And he doesn't want to cure himself. And in the end of the game, A2 saves 9S and she kills herself to bring down this whole thing. It's so complicated. But the thing is, what I like about the game, not in the storytelling is complex and stupid. Mechanically, the game plays by its own rules. It plays so well by its own rules. Like, when you want to save the game, it's not auto-save. You have to get into range of a Wi-Fi router, upload your consciousness to the Wi-Fi router, it gets backed up. But if there's a building between you and the router, it's not going to connect.
Yes.
Because there's actual Wi-Fi signals that play a part. And what also happens is, I can't describe it because I only finished the game last night and I was just so broken by it. It deals with humanity, not in the grand scale where you're saving the world, where you're just trying to save yourself because the world has given up on you. And every character you meet, the world has given up on them. Like there's 2 repair drones that at some point in the past were tasked to save humans, but they failed. And everyone has turned their back on them. And then they kill themselves trying to help you get to the final objective. The machines that they're trying to make a better life for themselves. Because the master machine tried to teach the children about fear. When the village was under attack, all those child machines killed themselves. They destroyed their cause.
Nice.
Because they feared death so much.
That's really messed up
It's
and dark.
really, like you walk into the room, like you spend this like good half an hour trying to defend these machines. Then you walk in the room and you see they all stab themselves. And you're like, no.
That's
And there's one
really
point where
dark.
9S goes into his own memories. And he sees this giant blob monster there. And you have to fight this blob monster, and in the end he just goes insane, starts stabbing him. And that's his memory of 2B. Because he was so betrayed by her death that he just keeps stabbing her. And the final betrayal was 2B wasn't actually a B model. Like it's number 2 model B.
Yes.
Her model was 2E. And the E was executioner. Because 9S was a high-end model, number 9 model S, model surveyor. That they knew that 9S would find the truth. So the executioner was sent to keep on killing him before he could back up his data. That's why the first scene of the game, you detonate the black box. At the end of the first arc, you strangle him to death. Because he thinks he's corrupted by it, but no. 2B was meant to keep on killing him. And that's why she asked A2 to kill her. Because she never want to kill her friend anymore. It's so many layers of betrayal. It's not even a good sci-fi story, it's just a good story on humanity. I love that. And I finished it endings A through to Z. Only the first 4 really matter. The rest of them are just little side stuff. Like
They're bonus endings. Like, you just wandered off into the desert, and that's it.
There
The game's over.
isn't really a wander off into the desert, but it's like a scene where if you have to defend this person, you're like, no, I'm out. And they're like, but why? No, credits. Reboot, start again. But there's a lot of endings, and it's a very human story about machines. Like, after a while, you forget that they just sexy Lolita sex bots, okay? You forget about that because they have emotion to them. They have this feeling. The character building is so much better. And I think this is like a good spectrum of how the games play. Like, Horizon Zero Dawn, this world-spanning story. Where Nier Automata is just a single town and a small group of fighters trying to save themselves. Because there's no one else to save. There's some remnants of humanity left on the moon, but that doesn't matter anymore. Because the world isn't worth saving. Which is sad.
So no matter what you do, the world never is being saved.
It's not worth saving, really. The machines are dead, the androids are dead. Maybe the grand plan was that Yora would be destroyed, the machines would be destroyed, and that a tower emerge from the ground and blast the last remaining human DNA out of existence, because there's no point to it. It's a grand betrayal of humanity.
That's really sad.
Yeah, but what I do like is the game is so consistent with its rules. Like there's one point where you funding the scientist. Like he says, I need funding so I can do more, so I can do more, so I can do more. And at the end, he just builds a space elevator that goes straight up to Mars. And that space elevator stays on the map. It stays there, it's just sitting there. You go to the coast, you can see it jutting out of the sea, and you can go to him and you can buy meteorite charts. It's really weird how it works. And even like the save mechanic, when the bunker gets destroyed, there's no saving the game anymore. You can come back at the last save point, but you can't recover any of the progress you've made. It becomes very unforgiving. Like, oh my god, I got so fed up. Like I got to the last point of the last boss fight and the game's like, nope. It's cool. But also, fighting in the game, beautiful at the ending, where it's A2 and 9S. They're fighting this last giant monster, and you just see the perspective keep switching between the two, because you don't know which pod you're following. Like, you get those pods, those machine guns.
Yes.
They're continuously exchanging data because the two pods fall in love. It's amazing. And they said, like, we should, since we're the last two support models, we should continuously exchange data. And at the point, because they're so close to each other, they're fighting the same monster, the perspective changes every 3 seconds when you're fighting the last boss.
Wow.
And it becomes this cluster of just bullets and mass and really good game. Really good story.
That does sound pretty amazing.
And I love every minute of it. And also what they do, they give you access to the debug module. you can turn on the wireframes so you don't see anything. You can stop drawing character models. You can set all the variables yourself. It's fun.
It is, but Nier Automata kind of almost even suffers from using the word Nier because it has nothing to do with the original.
It does.
Oh, does it?
Same timeline.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah. Because there's the one place in the desert. In the starting of the game, the desert just this expansive desert. But then as the wind starts chipping away, you start seeing remnants of these giant orbs from the original Nier game, and you start seeing ruins come out of the sand, and they reference it slowly. I think Nier is the original Nier is a sequel to this one here, because I think humanity eventually comes back. I'm not sure, because you do find out in Nier that this is the game in the future. So, a really good game, not really story-wise, but mechanically, a really beautiful game, which I love to bits. And I hope to see more. The latest DLC, you saw who's the boss in the latest DLC.
Yes.
Hard boss, but amazing.
It's so cheesy. It's so brilliant at the same time.
It's so Japanese.
It's so Japanese.
But 2 really good games.
Well, I like Japanese storytelling. I watch a crap ton of anime.
Yeah, so do I. But that's Nier Automata to you. I know I probably botched that because I still can't make sense of the story. I'll have to
Probably.
I need to read the wiki because it's so messed
Your
up.
brother is like half asleep on my couch.
Yeah, he woke up at 9 for the first time in his life. So, yeah. Pat. You want to go to the science article?
Yeah.
Because you're half an hour now.
I can briefly touch on the science article.
Okay, science article, and then we'll go on to what we're doing.
Apparently, human noise has reached even the most protected areas. That's the title.
Read the bottom of the sea or the highest mountain? Which one?
No. Protected areas.
Oh.
Has
Noise.
noise.
So
Human
humanoids.
Human noise has invaded even protected areas. So, do you know what a protected area is?
We should be free of human habitation and all that.
Yes, it is essentially nature isolated that's supposed to be just nature with no humans. Well, apparently the last protected area now has every now and then the occasional noise of an airplane or a car. The last.
Where was that?
It doesn't actually say.
If it's somewhere like in northern Russia, then...
It says the National Park Service unveils its map of sound in the US, so...
That's probably Alaska then.
Probably that region. But yeah, even the most protected wildlife areas
This
now
is
has human
officially
noise.
protected. I'm sure there's still some uninhabited places that aren't affected by human noise.
Not in terms of the United States anymore. Growth and expansion in that country is so enormous, so fundamentally fanatic. People try and grab land where they can, and these organizations desperately try to buy the rights of those places up as well at the same time to protect them, because guess what? When there's no more trees, you die. Fun fact. So yeah, the last place now has humanoids in it. The animals are now starting to get used to the concept of this droning mechanical noise. That to me is incredibly saddening.
Mm-hmm.
Incredibly saddening. Now some people will say, yeah, well, it was inevitable. Like, yeah, that also means our death is inevitable, dude.
Gardians, we just talked about 2 sci-fi stories that dealt with humanity's extinction.
Well, at least Nier Automata had a
Yeah.
at least Horizon Zero Dawn had a solution to it.
No, yeah, the world just ended.
We don't have a solution to that. I mean, the closest thing to a solution is
The vaults that we have.
not the seed vaults. That crazy dude, I just spoke about him last night to my friends. The crazy dude who wants to go to Mars. Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
The closest thing that we have to surviving a world extinction event is him building a colony on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
That's the closest thing we got.
Cool.
Can't you build a human colony on the moon?
No, because of the low gravity, you can't gestate properly.
Yeah, it's actually like people actually are sitting here like, why would the humans lead to the moon? There's nothing there.
There's water.
Yeah, they say like it wouldn't work for 3,000
Why
years.
don't you create something like artificial gravity or something?
Spin gravity.
Okay, look. Here's the problem with reproduction in space. All right, they tried it on animals, and the results were horrifying. Turns out your DNA. Okay, if you were to map out the DNA sequence that builds a human as a mathematical formula, you will find that G
Gravity
is a constant variable that doesn't change.
Mm-hmm.
In space, that variable is removed. Therefore, you literally turn into some sort of mutant with your organs floating on the outside of your body, literally floating on the outside. So human reproduction in 0G or microgravity does not work.
And you can't even create spin gravity.
Isn't man's gravity different to us?
It is, but it would be sufficient because you are at least have the factor
Consistent,
of downward force.
Yeah.
So that when the baby forms, the DNA would continuously pick something up and reattach it.
Because even if you mix spin
So
gravity,
if you were to take a pregnant woman right now into space,
Us-
a forming of a baby would be different.
Yes.
and even if you create spin gravity, that gravity is not sufficient. 'Cause-
No, spin gravity is enough.
So you can create the spin.
Look, if you have spin gravity, that'll be sufficient, but you would have to make sure that the woman is sitting inside a spinning tube for 9 months, and that's not going to be a pleasant experience for her. She's going to have a word with her man when she's out.
When I talk about spin gravity, I'm talking about spin gravity as a scale. Like you build a colony on a spinning tube. That would be possible.
Oh,
Did you watch Star Trek?
No, that
Hated
doesn't count.
I hated it. Look, Star Trek has artificial gravity. Now you mentioned that previously. Artificial gravity is a concept. It is very scientifically difficult to point out how it could be done. Because even a photonic cannon that could blow up planets could still be scientifically written down on paper on roughly how it would work. You just have an energy source problem. But artificial gravity is still a bit difficult to point down how you would do it. We can't for certain say to create artificial gravity you would have to do this. Because we haven't isolated the Higgs boson particle yet.
We haven't been able to create something with more mass than size, basically. We need something as massive as a planet to create gravity, basically.
Not necessarily. You would have to artificially bend the Higgs boson field. Once you could do that, you could create artificial gravity.
So, anything else we can go on to science, or go straight on to what we're looking forward to?
What are you looking forward to?
So, Yusuf, set up what you're looking forward to.
What am I looking for?
Yeah, and also you can plug all your stuff, your Gram, your Twitter, all your stuff. Go for it. Set up, come on.
Okay, so I do have an Instagram account. So let me just see the name of the Instagram account first.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Social media. Okay, listen, what
Okay, look, we're doing you last. Hi, everyone. I'm Chris. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Literal Unplayable Podcast. I have a Twitter, but I'm not going to share it to you because there's nothing just filled with junk. There is the Unplayable Podcast Twitter account itself, which does almost nothing. And we have a website, theunplayablepodcast.com. All of our episodes are there, including our bonus stuff. You can find it over there.
Cool.
Moaz, you have no social media accounts.
No, I don't. For good reason. I'm actually gonna start now, but I'll give you some time.
But you can start something different.
Yeah, I'm still gonna start with ARG. Hospital and things happens, but watch the space. When it comes up, I'll give it to you.
So you guys can follow me on Instagram at Suleiman_Yusuf.
Spell it.
SULIMAN underscore. I don't know how to spell underscore. You will know what underscore is. Yusuf, YUSUF. And yeah.
Facebook, Twitter, anything else?
Nah, Facebook, Yusuf Suleiman. But
Any projects you're working on?
any projects? Nah, we just put it in Nigeria. But every idea needs to be blossomed. So let us first blossom the idea.
I'll put a link up when he starts his thing.
Yeah.
We might even put up his first episode because we can like do a short. We'll figure something out.
Yeah, no, definitely. We'll link all the stuff in the description
Yeah.
as well, and on the website we'll have all the links over there for him if you want to follow him for some reason, because I don't know, he seems to be the Marvel and DC man, not
Yeah.
the science man. So if you were listening to this and thinking, man, I needed a comic book man in my life,
No, that's exactly why I wrote
well,
it.
that's what he is. If you want more science, well, you're fresh out of luck.
I'm not a science guy.
Yeah.
Only science I know is matric science.
Surprisingly enough, that's more than most people in this country.
Yeah.
I've been here for an entire science podcast, but there was 2 minutes of science podcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 2 minutes of science podcast because Guardians of the Galaxy 2 happened.
And that was really interesting. It's not about the science podcast, it's about anything and everything interesting. I never introduced us
I don't know,
properly.
like the next time, I don't know when I'll be here, maybe.
When Thor comes out,
Maybe Homecoming or Thor, let's just see.
we'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll figure
Anyway, so thanks for listening. Anything we else need to do?
Pirates Caribbean coming out in the month, I think.
Yeah, okay, so that's what you're looking forward to.
Yeah, what you
Okay,
looking
cool.
forward to?
Me, I am looking forward to playing through Destiny. I am doing the thing of where you get into an MMO, when the MMO is done, you powerhouse through the story and be like, okay, cool, I know the story, and then you leave.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the end of it.
Yeah, I got into play lately. For some reason, you don't seem to like it, but I'm having a
No.
ball of a time.
My references tell me that Prey is apparently not the greatest thing in the world. Now remember,
Yeah.
the original Prey, I played through, I don't know, 100 times.
Yeah, same. I played about 50 times. The reason why I picked up Prey was one of my references said something interesting. They said it's System Shock 3. And I immediately bought it. Because, goddamn, System Shock 2 is the greatest first-person RPG ever made.
I never played System Shock 2, but apparently I was told that Bioshock was System Shock 3, so I...
No, it wasn't. Bioshock is very different. System Shock 2 had inventory management, skill trees.
Okay, we're getting too
Anyway,
deep into
so,
this.
I'll talk more about
I'll
later.
get Prey when my sources tell me it's worth getting.
Okay. Anyway, so I'll talk about. We'll figure when to talk about that. Anyway, let's wrap it up. It's been 2.5 hours, our longest episode yet. We'll see. We'll try to get guests in more often because it proves to be very, very interesting.
My nipples are rigid right now.
I'm ending it there.